Hello, everyone, and welcome to day one of the SWC 2026 America's Prelims. My name is Evan, and with me at the virtual desk, it's Topa V. What's up, Topa?
I am super stoked to be here. We have a great group of players, many debutants, which is going to make for some amazing matches today. So I'm looking forward to it a lot.
You said it, man. We've got some returning champions, we've got some household names, but also a suspicious number of new players, new debutants, as you put it. 9 out of 16 of our top players in the Americas regions are here to duke it out for their chance at qualifying for the America's Cup proper on October 10th. And we're just getting started today. It's going to be a blast, and by the end of it, we'll have our first two qualified. Now, here's how we're going to go about this. Just like SWCs of old, it's double elimination in a best-of-5 format. All these guys are fighting for a potential prize of $10,000 at the America's Cup proper again on October 10th. Second place getting $5K, and third and fourth getting $2,500. And this is all part of a total prize pool of $216,000. On the bottom right there, you can see the schedule coming up. There's a whole lot more SWC action happening after today. In fact, this is only day one of our prelims. We got day 2 tomorrow and day 3 next Saturday. By the end of this, we'll have 3 qualified from the America's prelims to go on to the World Finals. And then we got the same for Europe, APAC, China qualifier, and we already have one qualified for the World Finals from the Open qualifier in Korea. So we are set to go here. Now, this SWC Topa has got a new rule added to it, and that's the stack ban.
Oh yeah, the stack ban is a very nice addition. I'm definitely looking forward to how it shakes up the meta. Obviously, other regions have already battled with this rule in play, but each region has kind of their own sub-meta of the meta overall. So I'm excited to see what the American players will do with this. Obviously, if you are new to this, how the stack ban works is that there is no pre-ban in the first match. It's essentially a free-for-all. But after that, each pre-ban will stick around and stack up. So at the end of the matches, if we go all the way to a set 5, there are going to be a maximum of 8 monsters in the pre-ban, Evan.
This really rewards improvisation, which is a really cool sub-skill that we don't always get to see in SWCs of old, because back in the day, we used to call it the Face Your Fears mode. You'd pre-ban a monster, but it'd be right back on the table in the game after that. Those days are behind us, Topa. Now we can have up to 8, like you said, locked away forever for everyone, and it is possible for 2 players to pre-ban the same monster. So folks have got to be careful, and of course they have to be extra sure that they want to debut a monster out there and put it in front of the eyes of their opponent, and rather than keep it hidden.
Yeah, this calls for more interesting strategies, because previously, if your opponent had a first pick and you have a contested monster, you could just pre-ban that monster out. But if you do that now, you're not going to be able to use that monster either. So in the case of like Light Fern, we actually have a matchup tomorrow that has 2 Light Fern users. So it's going to be interesting to see if they do pre-ban that crucial LD. And we have a couple of players today too that share units like Gianna's or Limas. So do they want to put that in the stack ban and not have it available for themselves either at all?
Yeah, and it's going to allow for way crazier diversity in terms of the pick ban phase and a better viewing experience, chat. So let us know what you think about it as you see it. This isn't the first time we're seeing the stack ban. We actually got to debut it at the show match, and we've already seen it in the prelims circulating in SWC 2026. But now, looking ahead, today, what are we doing? We've got a crazy bracket, like we said. We got True Whale and Stay Hive right out the gate in match number 1. And those are the only 2 returning SWC participants of day 1. Everybody else is brand new to the tournament scene. We got Jiwoo Fan and Jirmo following up there. Zadoris, who's always been in the background of the community right there. Koizu in match number 3. Then Goku the 4 and Trixen to match up in the 4th round there, Topa.
Yeah, that is a stacked looking bracket, even though they are a lot of new players in there. And we also have preliminaries for day 2 that will be here tomorrow, same place, same time. And that match 1, JJYY against Thompson, that's a titan match right there, right off the bat. With previous champion. And JJYY, although he is new, he was rank 1 on the ladder for a while. And we have likes of Sunny, Zayza, Sappy, Winnie, Monagua stepping out from the caster's desk, as well as Panda like that we see there on day 2.
Yeah, dude, we're getting to this point where we're almost reaching a critical mass of casters and players that we could fill up a whole bracket. And now, guys, we've got the return of the prediction event, who I'm sure a lot of you guys have already engaged with this. So if you haven't taken a look at the event page yet, I would encourage you to do so, because just like years past, you can earn up those SWC emblems, though this time it's a little different because there's also milestone rewards in there. So If you haven't already, make sure you're redeeming the codes, including the ones that'll be doled out later on in the show today, because you'll be accumulating those emblems and working towards LD scrolls, all attribute scrolls, Devilmon, and more. There's a lot of great and essential stuff for progression and good summons in there, guys. So make sure you check that out as we proceed in today's tournament. So now that we've looked at the bracket, Topa, are there any games that particularly fascinate you? Are you looking forward to any over others?
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, we're starting off with probably my match of the day here. You know, we have the two returning players, and I mean, one of them is Truewell, man, that really needs no introduction. His accolades definitely speak for itself, and Stay High, you know, he technically made it further than Truewell in last year's competition, reaching top 4 of America, so no easy feat there. So this is going to be a really, really good match right off the bat.
It's going to be great. We had them on for the show match earlier this year when we debuted the stack ban as well. So it was so fun to watch them play. And now I'm curious what they're going to bring, because these guys have to have even more monsters runed up and ready to go, more teams in the back of their head because of that stack ban rule set. Here's the matchup, guys. We got True Whale versus Stay Hive coming up. We already touched on it a little bit here, Topa, but what can you tell me about True Whale's play style?
I mean, Truewell's playstyle can be whatever he feels like, to be completely honest. The man's runes and monsters are just endless, it almost seems like. We've seen in past SWCs and tournaments that Truewell can just bring a whole entire new draft in each of his rounds. So, you know, you never really know what you're going to get when you're playing against Truewell. But what we do know is we're probably not going to be seeing that Shumar, although it's in his most picked monsters.
Shumar's probably been benched. You're right about that. And I really love what Stay Hive has kind of presented us here in the most picked and most banned categories as well. Something to note as well, you'll see the qualified season. Currently, True Whale is sitting at a positive win rate against Stay Hive. That's not to say that it's guaranteed to happen today, although that does mean that they've probably had some experience on the ladder together, and they've both definitely done their homework. So maybe Stay Hive will put something together that'll assemble a dream team Exodia comp up against True Whale here, Topa.
Oh yeah, we're getting right into matches here, but also an important note is that ladder play is very different. Oh my goodness, I believe that is a new monster from Stay Hive. He's first picking a Laura.
First pick Laura, brand new debut on the tournament scene. It's Laura. I mean, I'd be first picking the Laura too. That tells you who really wants to be taking turn 1 from True Whale.
Yeah, I definitely can't blame you for first picking that, but Truewell is fighting back with that turn 1, you know, using elemental monsters, but we have the most popular speed lead in G3 and Oliver, as well as the most popular monster with that Shiho. No surprise that we're seeing him right away.
He went from being the dev's favorite monster to now the player base's favorite monster, that #1 most picked category, surpassing even the likes of Wind Stark, and it only took a balance patch to make that happen.
Yeah, it definitely did. And are the sides switched here? Why is Stay Hive side all LDs and True Whale's is all RGB? This is something unusual going on here. But Stay Hive going for speed lead of his own in that Light Burner, as well as a Light Twin, slightly built on Swift, so still contesting that turn 1, and there's the other speed lead.
This is a cool draft that Stay Hive has assembled. True Whale is kind of showing us what the meta, in a manner of speaking, looks like. It's all of this plus Light Fern. That would be the picture of the meta currently today. And now Stay Hive is dipping into the past a little bit with popular picks such as the Light Gojo, Light Verner up there, and Tian Lang. We'll see what True Whale wants to do to round out this draft. Again, this is the only round where they have that full and unrestricted access to their monster box, because after this, the stack pan picks up in earnest.
Ooh, Truewell rounding out his draft with a Vivid Chill here, looking to probably just give up the turn 1, as he only has 1 Swift monster in his first 4 picks, so can't really just pick another speed lead or Swift monster. I mean, I guess there could be something like a Chibu that could maybe outspeed, but Stay Hive likely get into turn 1 either way, so Truewell kind of concedes that. Just looking to get a Vivid Chill snipe on maybe some monster on Stay Hive side.
Everything about what Stay Hive is bringing is telling me that he really wants to try to fight for that turn 1 if he can here. Bans out the speed lead. We'll see how fast. This is a speed check for Shiho. He's unlikely to take that first turn considering Laura's high base speed, but we'll see how far behind he is after this. We are about to get into it, fam.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, is the Shiho fast enough with the Hey Gang bar to still move in front of Stay Hive's team? Obviously, Tianlang will be reducing the attack bar gain as well as gaining some bar on his own. But if the Shiho can cut, that could be very good position for True Whale here.
We'll see if it works out to plan here. We get an HP lead on the side of True Whale, a speed lead on the side of Stay Hive, and we are off to the races. Game 1 and day 1 of the Americas prelims.
Here we go. Laura likely getting that turn one. It could be a violent Laura, and maybe even the Light Twins is going to be taking that turn one. We'll see as we get in the match. And no, it is going to be Laura moving first, but that Light Twin is following right after the She-Ho's off Will.
So that means, oh dear. So yeah, that means he's not going to be getting any of that bar because he has not been stripped, unfortunately. Here comes the Light Twins. Big damage on the enemy team. True Whales sitting at below 50% already.
Oh my God.
He's cleaved. We've been closing.
What is going on here? True Will getting cleaved in the first game. That is some insane additional damage artifacts. I mean, there is speed buff, attack buff, defense buff, all the additional damage buffs on that Light Twins when you utilize that skill 3. So that is going to be a lot of damage as we see right there. And I mean, True Will got absolutely cleaved here.
This is all just a psyop for artifact farming. This has been brought to you by Punisher's Crypt and the Steel Fortress chat, because Sayhive is up 1 point to True Whale 0. That he assembled a cleave out of nowhere, Topa.
I mean, that's a lot of LDs that he had there, so that's definitely a very, very strong combination. We kind of saw the holy trinity of the light monsters there as well, in that Light Werner, Tianlang, and Laura. And True Whale is probably going to be looking to steal some of those monsters now, or maybe put some in the pre-ban as well.
And see, this is what we're talking about here. The Light Fern getting that pre-ban early. It wasn't even in the pick ban phase. This is what we've kind of taken to calling, right, the imaginary pre-ban, right, Topa?
Yeah, the imaginary pre-ban. I didn't even know that True Whale has a Light Fern, but I mean, it's True Whale we're speaking about here, so it's not an outrageous assumption that he would have this monster here. So not surprised. I mean, Stayhard probably knows more than I do in this regard as well. So just puts that Light Fern, that pre-ban, and True Whale going for a Kovarchi first pick.
And that's a popular pick as well. The Kovarchi giving the attack buff and the immunity, as well as having that extra flexibility to reduce cooldown time on skill 2. Just an amazing LD5. I'm surprised it took us this long to see it. It's only game 2.
Yeah, definitely. And that Sierra is a very good pairing. We're obviously going to be getting a lot of value from the attack buff for the bomb damage if it does land. Probably going to be needing some sort of buff remover here to take full advantage of this turn 1.
Might be a good opportunity. It might be a little early to do it too, but you know, a Hagang goes really well with him because Kovarchi be putting up all those buffs all the time. It's keeping Hagang's passive fueled up.
Man, Stayhive on the other hand here is just bringing a whole new draft here. Last time we saw 5 LD5s. Now we're not seeing any on his side as he's going for Okeanos as well as that Efna to try and contest that turn 1.
It's kind of like how you were talking about how it looked like we swapped sides on that first one, you know, and now we're doing it again. Ostensibly, Stayhive is kind of dipping into what True Whale picked last time. I'm a big fan of Oki right now, Topa.
Yeah, Okeanos is very strong. Actually has one of the lowest ban rates out of the most picked monsters in RTA. So interesting to see. It's not getting a lot of respect in the pick and ban phase, but he does terrorize the post ban.
Oh, Tian Lang is kind of cool here. Has a slight anti-synergy with the Masha and the Ciara, but it's like absolutely brutal towards that Oliver and also Oki's third skill. Hagang would be feeding into it as well. I wouldn't be surprised if it soaked up the ban here, but instead the Kovarchi and the Hagang saw each other from across the street and they said, we're not dealing with any of that.
Yes, they has to ban that Kovarchi. If that Hagang is getting banned out, as he probably expects to do since it is his last pick, he's going to be kind of left without not many buff removers, as well as he's going to be letting True Whale likely take turn 1. Now he's definitely going to be getting turn 1 here with that 33 Efna that's looking to stun a monster and then set up his team here.
We'll see how much value he gets out of TL in this one too. True Whale's got to put something up right now and put a stop to this. Again, this is best of 5, so nobody's at point lead yet in terms of advantage or like where the game would be in trouble. True Whale has got to put a stop to Stayhive though.
Yeah, I do kind of favor Stayhive's draft here. You know, we have a little bit of technical difficulties there, but Stayhive is definitely going to be taking the turn 1 with that 33 Efna. He's going to be able to remove the buffs off of one monster and stun that monster. Oh, we're back in the game. See that come into effect, and then ooh, the Annabelle outspeeds Okeanos. Wait, he's going for a shatter? That's just going to feed the Tian Lang.
But yeah, it feeds the Tian Lang, and he's not likely to get it back either because of the elemental disadvantage he's throwing that into. Although this is a Tian Lang that doesn't want to strip anything, so we'll see.
Yeah, maybe not so bad after all, but I mean, that Efna is very vulnerable now. The Tian Lang could defense break. Obviously, Annabelle does cut in, so it could cleanse it, but there are 2 very, very strong fire damage dealers, so that Efna is definitely going to be leaving the battlefield here.
Yeah, it's still favorable in terms of True Whale here. Just forcing Annabelle to use the skill 2. I don't think there's a world where he was going to use the skill 3 into a bunch of immunity. So just burning that skill now when you have control over it, there is some advantage to that for sure.
For sure, and Truebell very fast here with his runes, even with the 9 speed lead disadvantage, he actually outspeeds Stayhive's Okeanos as well as Oliver, so now he can actually silence that Okeanos and prevent it from removing any buffs here, and the CR bomb can still go towards, well, could even go for the Okeanos, and the Masha can likely take out one of the other target that CR does not bomb here.
Yeah, this opener was a bit sabotaged for Stayhive here. That skill 2 kind of did seemingly irreparable damage, but we'll see how this goes over the course of the game. We get the increased cooldown time and a nice little proc from Oliver. Look at that. It's almost like he took it's almost like he took 100% bar.
Yeah, very nice proc there, as obviously he was at very low attack power. This Masha is going to be staring at a meal right now. Okeanos can't return to silence, does not get a proc, so no skills available there. But now Masha, do you take out the Efna here, or maybe do you get a bit greedy and go for the Okeanos here?
Ooh, I was thinking the same thing, dude. The Oki's looking juicy and just shy of it, so Tian Lang can finish it off. Also, the Ciara being silenced, she doesn't have any skills anyway. Tian Lang, he's trying to apologize, Topa, for that missed strip on his first turn.
Yeah, no strip, but he has also not missed a violent proc. That is 2 turns and 2 violent procs right now. And, I mean, they have that questionable Shatter turn 1. That kind of just set the tone for this match, and Truebell is likely going to be taking this home, even though he's very debuffed on the side right now.
That was really where it went wrong, dude. That opening Shatter, and it's like, I get it, there is a bit of like habit there, could have been a misclick, we don't know the whole background. Maybe he thought that it would be good to throw Tian Lang into the mix when everybody was still on Will, and make him force the skill 2, but it ultimately did not work out. It all just went downhill from there. Here comes the big skill 3 from Asher to take down the Oliver, and an Annabelle on her own is not going to do it.
Yeah, not going to do it. I mean, I've seen Annabelle do some crazy things, but this would definitely take the cake if Annabelle were to get that match. But we are going to a game 3, even Steven, 1 player's 1 point apiece.
Here we go. 1-1. Yeah, we'll have to. I'd love to get some insight into that opener. We'll see if any news comes out from behind that. If we can hear from Stayhive or something like that, we'll be sure to let you know. So we had last round's pre-ban. Let's see what gets put out there this time. I wouldn't be surprised if Kovarchi was in there, just because you don't want to have to keep banning it consistently.
Yeah, Kovarchi definitely could make an appearance there. And then on Truebell's side is a bit more interesting, because Stayhive has now shown a full LD draft and then a no LD draft. So it's like, what part is like Truebell doesn't have ruined up that he probably wants to get rid of. So it's going to be that Efna, that questionable play. And Stayhive actually pre-banning a Tian Lang once that he utilized the great effect in that first match.
And also Etna in the pre-ban. True Whale, I guess True Whale probably saw the vision. He's like, I saw where this was done optimally, and I don't want to deal with that. We got a Fire Megami or Fire Tetsuya in that first pick slot for Stayhive.
Ooh, Fire Megami. Now that the Tianlang is in the pre-ban, the stack ban, that Fire Megami is going to be running rampant. But the Shiho is still left unchecked, so Truebell can pick that up. But no option to go for a Lima right now. Maybe still could pick up that Shiho.
It's great to deploy it here and now, because I have a feeling that, you know, if you let the games go on, she's going to end up in the pre-ban, whether or not you even pick her. So you might as well use her while you can. And then we got the answer with the Secret and Elsharion.
Oh, wow. I mean, Stayhive, yeah, another draft. I mean, what is going on here? This is just a completely different draft in each game. Now, in game 3, we're going for a speed snipe. Oh, my God. What? Is Truebell going to deploy the Gani Hathor? What year are we living in, Evan?
Is this 2017? Where are we? This is, dude, this is crazy. He locked it in. Oh, this is actually sick. Both of these players are cooking right now. The Elsharion to take the invincibility and or the immunity that both Lima and Shiho apply, and then we have the Hathor to apply Oblivion with skill 3. This is really cute.
Ooh, I don't know about this demon pick here, however. You already have a Gani to reset it, and okay, Leica. I mean, we are definitely not done cooking here. I mean, Leica, there's already a stun from Megami. There's multi-hits from the Secret as well as the Elsharion. It's a pretty ambitious Leica pick, if you ask me, but I mean, it definitely does counter the last 2 picks of Stayhive.
Yeah, there is a crazy magical Christmas land here where he can solo, if like maybe Elsharion's gone, like you said. But yeah, the Secrets, random attacks. We're getting a Leica game. It's always exciting when Leica makes it into SWC. I was almost thinking that Stayhive might want to dip into, say, like a Shizuka or something like that, just so you could kind of reverse engineer your own Lima. But here we are.
I almost want to Stayhive to just keep pressing that speed advantage. I feel like that's the one main weakness of Gani Hathor. Gani Hathor is very strong in slower passive teams, but if you outspeed it, obviously Gani Hathor doesn't get online and therefore he can counter it. But StayHive, opts to go for kind of a counter playstyle against it. But now he let the Ganymede through against his Demon. I don't like the position that StayHive finds himself in right now.
Yeah, it's a little tough. We can stun up the secret here, assuming he activates, and he did. Now Elsharion is free to kind of steal one of those immunity or invincibility options for the team.
Oh man, it's kind of awkward to be... Oh wow, okay, that's still the invisibility right there. The Lima is moving right after, so could put it back up, but opts to go for that skill to buff removal instead, and now this Demon is just left vulnerable. It's gonna get reset and gonna get no value this match.
That's so good. That's actually so good. So you could theoretically just go for a Demon kill here if you wanted to, but you'd also power up Justice for Jaeger, so I don't know.
Yeah, Ops just secure the kill right there. Doesn't want to take any chance to secret reduce and cool down with that team up. And Jaeger now responding back. Doing some damage on that Water Monkey, but not enough to take it out.
Oh, Shiho is this is the dark side of ripping the skill 2 with the Lima. I definitely would have done the same thing. I think it was the right play, but you end up losing a Water Monkey or two.
Yeah, Water Monkey is gone, but Ganymede is still here. Can ventilate the Lima for even more protection here. And Jaeger, I mean, if once this Elsharion drops, there's not much that can deal with this Leica here.
Yeah, and also important to note too, Leica still has Justice. True Whale chose to kind of go a little less spicy and just use skill 1 from the Leica.
Ooh, that's good damage coming out. Attack buff Jaeger almost taking out the Ganymede, but it's going to be getting some heal over time, and that Justice also hurts that Jaeger. Almost drops.
Oh, nice, dude. Again, he's actually in a position where he could put the Jaeger in lethal range, potentially.
Yeah, I assume the Ganymede is going to have some additional damage. Yeah, 1.5k on the skill 1, a little bit of additional damage there. I think that might just be enough with the dot spam. He's kind of forced to hit the monster anyways due to having that threat state. I think the Jaeger will be leaving the battlefield here. I don't think StayHive has enough at this point to win.
I don't think so either. Unless I'm maybe having a disgusting lack of faith in the power of Elsharion, but I don't know. Because right now we're at a position where Leica can really do some damage.
Oh man, and the Elsharion is not doing much damage, especially when after missing that crit right there in Lima. Even with the nerf, that's how that 90. Okay, it's
25.
Wow.
Dude, well played from True Whale. I just want to shout out too, I actually really liked the way True Whale held the third skill from Lima at the end, because he knew that Elsharion had already ripped the multi-hit. So he was like, I don't need this invincibility yet because I know he can't kill Leica. So that was a really nice little holdout there. And then Justice was enough to take him out entirely. Super well played from True Whale there.
Yeah, very well played. That Leica pick ended up working pretty well. I didn't like StayHive's pivot right there. I think he could have just kept going for that turn 1 since True Whale didn't have a speed lead at all. So, he could have just banned out True Whale's last pick of the speed lead or the Shiho. There was either way, StayHive could have definitely guaranteed turn 1 in that last match and taken control, but instead he opted to go for the slow pivot, and obviously picking the Dark Demon into a reset of Ganymede already did not work out at all.
That was tough. That was tough, dude. And there it is. That's what we were talking about before. Whether or not you play with the Lima, she's going to appear down there. Might as well get a good game with her in, because people don't like to fall prey to that twice in one set.
Yeah, those are probably the LDs that, either the opposing player is not really planning of using, so you can just kind of safely put that in the pre-ban. You're not going to be taking options away from yourself, like StayHive did a little bit with that Tianlang in the stack ban.
And now True Whale is at match point in our first best of 5 of the day.
Man, and somehow StayHive finds yet another draft. I mean, we're seeing just completely different games in all 4 of these games so far, and this is what we love to see with the stack ban.
Yeah, that's the craziest part, dude. Is theoretically you only have to replace the one monster you lose, sometimes 2, but our players here are just giving us a treat with brand new drafts every game. And now we got a Ciara Gianna combo. Wow, this is frightening with Kovarchi, and StayHive answers back by bringing Vivachel and Ella. Viva obviously being a super good target for cooldown time reduction from that light totemist.
Yeah, that Josephine pick is also very, very good here. Obviously, kind of counters that Gianna, as Gianna kind of has to go for that skill 3 buff removal. So I assume the whole team StayHive is going to be willed up here, so it can't just be bombed without Josephine cutting in between. But he's kind of already putting himself on the back foot here. So if True Whale can find some strong picks, maybe the likes of Daphnis and Sonia, these snipe monsters that are definitely going to be outbeating StayHive and putting him in a tough position.
Super well said, dude. Because yeah, you can tell with that Sonya pick, True Whale is picking up on this sort of defensive draft that Stay Hive is taking. He's like, oh, you're letting me just kind of be aggressive? Fine, let's do it. I'll slam down a Sonya and a Narsha. Dark Demon coming back again.
Dark Demon, obviously a lot better in this matchup than the last one. There's no cooldown increase on the opposing side. And, you know, it does kind of counter this snipe comp that True Whale is bringing here. But, I mean, in some ways, there's no AoE on the side of True Whale, so he could just choose to ignore the demon in its entirety, but he respects it and puts it in the ban.
Yeah, that's one of those monsters that you don't always want to just play around with. You know, I personally find it to be pretty terrifying. And here we go. Kovarchi's out, Dark Demon's out. We're getting the full Ciara Gianna combo. True Whale going hyper aggressive in what is now match point for him.
Yeah, the Sonya will be taking turn 1 here, and we'll see. Does the Sonya have enough juice here into HP lead? No speed lead on such Stay High. There's that 38% HP lead from Vivid Shell, and probably a pretty tanky squad to begin with, so Sonya might not be enough to take out anything turn 1.
They are definitely tanky, and I'm also noticing, you're right, that like True Whale's, practically his whole team is going to go first. Yeah, look at the attack bars. True Whale basically gets full control of the game here in the beginning, so he's going to be mostly uninterrupted unless he stuns something with Gianna and allows Josephine to come in.
Can he kill Josephine here? That's a big question. Oh, it's not going to be enough. As Josephine is definitely going to cut in if Gianna were to use that skill 3. So we'll see if True Whale opts to go for that. He could probably just take out Josephine with a couple of skill 1s, but no, he chooses to go for skill 3.
I was going to say, do you just like skill 1 here with Gianna and then like let Ciara finish it off? Oh, with that proc actually? She's dead to Narsha, I think.
Yeah, that's a kind of an unfortunate proc for Stay High, but does get the stun. So Josephine actually does stay alive here. And now True Whale's in a weird position. As the bomb, the detonation damage is likely not going to take out this Josephine, but skill 1 might if there's enough additional damage.
He doesn't want to risk anything. True Whale is playing an interesting mix of like aggressive and also safe. You could have potentially risked a skill 1 into the Josephine there to try to kill it, but saves it for Sonya instead. Another bomb is going to come out, and Vivichel is going to skip her next turn because of that bomb too.
Yeah, likely going to put another bomb with Vivichel, just trying to single that monster out here. No, Narsha coming with the skill 2. Probably honestly on the Vivichel, just throw everything and the kitchen sink at this Vivichel, trying to get rid of that monster. And there we go, get a Demon's Break and a Violent proc. This Vivichel is going to be gone.
Do you need to keep going? Is my question. How much more do we need to throw into the Viva? I don't. Oh, he's going.
I think he probably just. Well, I mean, at this point, you could just detonate and take it out. But he doesn't really want to hit the Ella, as you can be giving totems. You really don't want to hit the Jaeger, as that might give the threat state. And then you can't confirm that kill, but does confirm the kill with that skill 3 detonation. And Stay Hive is at a 2v4 disadvantage right now.
Yeah, every unit that drops on Stay Hive's side here is powering up Jaeger. There is still a world where Jaeger could potentially solo, but he'd need to have immunity at clutch ×2. Ciara basically skipping.
Yeah, that's just, I mean, he just has to resist every single bomb. Sonya also has skills available, so it's probably going to kill a monster at this point, unless both of these are Sonya proof. If we go into Jaeger, it's not going to kill, but obviously Narsha is there to follow up, and Jaeger falls, and True Whale will be winning this game.
And that's it, dude. Yeah, True Whale moving forward into our first semi-finalist position. Super well played by True Whale. And for Stay Hive, he is not fully out of the tournament yet. As we said at the beginning, this is double elimination. So True Whale has just ostensibly sent Stay Hive to day 3 next Saturday. So you'll get to see more of him, and there's still chances for him to actually qualify for the America's Cup. I thought that True Whale played super well there, Topa.
Yeah, he definitely did. I mean, that first game was a little bit of a mishap. I mean, he got absolutely just cleaved in that first game right there by Stay Hive. I maybe would have liked to see a bit more of that from Stay Hive. I don't know how pivotal the Light Twins are, that combination. Obviously, he didn't utilize that comp after that Light Twins got put in the pre-ban. But, you know, you still have Laura, you still have Light Gojo, and, I mean, the Tianlang as well. Like, that's still a lot. That's kind of the core of that team, like, right there.
Yeah, the whole archetype went with the Light Twin Angels, though. So I agree with you. I would have liked to have seen more there for sure.
Yeah, here we see the highlight of that. I mean, the whole game is probably going to be in this highlight, as you know, it's just straight up cleaved. You know, 2 monsters kind of just dying off right off the rip here. And yes, they took a convincing lead here, but then he kind of fumbled in the later drafts. I feel like his pivots weren't so clean, and then, I mean, this very questionable shatter probably was a timeout there, honestly.
Into the two fire monsters and also Tian Lang to hinder the attack bar. I don't think that there's really a world where you do that and you're trying to get the next turn right, obviously, because it's impossible. So I think maybe there might have been some plan in the back of StayHive's head, thinking, I'm going to try to get TL to just move and hope that he misses the strip on my immunity, which, to his credit, that's exactly what happened. It just kind of spiraled out of control from there.
Yeah, definitely did. And obviously, he didn't get the lockdown on any specific unit, so he ended up losing his Okeanos very, very early as well as a result. And I mean, we saw in that game 3, the pivot of going the Dark Demon into a resetter. That is definitely not recommended. This game 4 was beautifully executed by Truewell. Very calculated risks with, finishing off the Josephine when he did, as well as, taking the very guaranteed kill on that Vivachel there.
Super well played from him. And yeah, it was aggressive in that final game against Truewell versus StayHive there. Like, he played aggressive, but he was playing safe in the game. Picked aggressive, played safe. So I thought that was really well executed, because it was clear that he didn't just want to go haphazardly into that 4th game. He actually wanted to guarantee that he took the whole set there. So well played by Truewell. And again, guys, from here on out, it's all new blood. Coming up next, we got Jiwoo Fan versus Jirmo. So folks in the BR community will probably recognize Jirmo from Twitch as well. This is just a debut for the tournament setting. And of course, now we see Truewell is set up to be our first semifinalist. If he can do that again, Topa, he'll be our first qualified for the America's Cup.
Yeah, I don't think that would really be a surprise to anyone, to be completely honest, if Truewell is going to be our first qualified player. But looking forward, we have this match 2 here between Jiwoo Fan and Dermo coming up.
Yeah, let's see here. So we got our SWC debut for Jiwoo Fan, and we also saw his most picked. Notably, there's a Gianna. He's got the Shiho there, not surprisingly, because it is the most picked unit currently in RTA right now. And also, he loves Oki. Do you know anything else about maybe what he has as a secret weapon?
Yeah, don't let the most picked fool you on a Jiwoo Fan there. He actually has a lot more LDs under the hood. There's a Lima, there's a Han, there's a Maxi, there's a Seimei. There's a lot more strong LDs that he has, and so does Dermo here. He has that Light Burner, Tian Lang, as well as the Laura, a holy trio that worked so well for StayHive right there, as well as he has the Light Twins that seem to be critical for that combination too.
Which is pretty popular today. We saw StayHive use it to great effect once before it fell victim to the stack ban. Here we go, guys. Match 2, set 1 in America's Prelims. This is day 1, still Jiwoo Fan versus Jirmo coming up right now. We're getting into the pick ban phase.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued to see how Dermo adapts once his comp is likely gonna find itself in the pre-ban very fast. Because we saw once again StayHive use that comp and absolutely cleave Truewell in that first game. So Dermo's probably gonna be doing something similar, but no, he's gonna be going for a Oliver instead, matching the 33 speed lead of Jiwoo Fan.
Funny the way the first pick in both game 1 and game 2 was Laura. That was the first pick then, and now she's back here again. Jirmo's assembling something really cool here with the Oliver, the Laura, the Lima. That's powerful, but it's clear that Jiwoo Fan is very familiar with how to play against it, because he's bringing strip, survivability, and our favorite and the devs' favorite, Shiho.
Yeah, Shiho is there, no surprise. Likely, pressuring that turn 1. If you do get that turn 1 buff remove into a stun, that Layla is going to be gaining attack bar and then cutting in right after. You don't even need to be speed tuned there too well. But the counter of this Layla is going to be this Wind Aya, as well as we see a Chao that doesn't do so well into Layla, but does very well in the rest of the Jiwoo Fan's team.
Yeah, Chao would really take the rest of this team to go. It's honestly just the Layla that would keep him from ever taking a turn again. We'll see what Jiwoo Fan wants to do here. Probably doesn't want to take something to activate the Wind Aya unless he's planning to ban it, and opts for Ragdoll.
Ooh, Ragdoll, there's a couple, multi-hits with that Laura skill tree, as well as, Lima, probably built on a little bit of credit at least. This might get some value, but it's not really a bruiser fight. You don't have any heals aside from the incidental Juno passive heals on your side, so I'm not the biggest fan of Ragdoll in this matchup.
And we saw them call each other's bluff. We got the Wind Aya and Layla banned out here, so we're playing a very honest game right now. Instead of debuff and Wind Aya going at each other like this, Shiho taking turn 1 to no one's surprise, stunning up the Lima.
Yeah, I think the bans definitely went in Dermo's favor. He did ban out that Layla, and then, Jiwoo Fan kind of banned out the Layla counter, but now there's no Layla. The Aya ban is a bit questionable. It does have that provoke that could still get some debuffs on it, but it's not going to be doing a whole lot. But we do see that Ragdoll getting the attack part. This Juno, and that's a very good Juno skill too.
Extremely positive result for Jiwoo Fan there. The Justice already dealing serious damage against Vanessa. And here comes Shiho to try to stun everybody up. Everyone relevant resisted it.
Yeah, that is pretty unfortunate, but he does have enough damage to take out this Lima here. You see that Vanessa is actually pretty squishy. Just a 14k hit from the Chao to cut more than half of Vanessa's HP. And now Shiho actually resisting the Oliver, so he does have skill 3 available.
Now we're just kind of picking away here. Jiwoo fan is like, I'm just going to... I'll deal with the Chao later, but the rest of this can go down. There's still a world where Chao solos this, which is kind of crazy to say.
There definitely is, but that Laura skill 2 is not helping the cause here. Just missing everything on that Shiho and landing everything on the Junos. That's going to be some decent healing going through. Obviously, Chao with a skill 2 or even a skill 1 can finish off this Vanessa, but it's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle for this Chao at this point.
I was almost expecting him to reset the Vanessa so he can, so he could skill 2 the Shiho, but I'm not. Maybe he doesn't want to risk that. So here we go. He gets the best of both worlds. Justice takes out Vanessa, and now he's going to start working on Juno.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't think Chao's gonna have this. I mean, this Chao needs to proc like every turn in order for this to happen. We already said Ragdoll taking out half of Chao's HP, and as Chao's HP drops, so does his damage. He needs to get rid of the Shiho. We're not going with the Shiho.
Yeah, not the Juno.
The skill 3 is gonna finish him.
There was a little bit of mistargeting there, but I'm gonna be honest, bro. After I saw the additionals from Juno's skill 1, I was like, oh, Chao does not got this. Actually, it's like she took out a sizable chunk of his HP, and Jiwoo is gonna walk away with 0.1 in this match.
Yeah, well played by Jiwoo. I didn't think that, his draft was going to be as strong as it turned out to be right there. Obviously, getting that turn 1 helps a lot. Shiho getting that stun and kind of just gave him a lot of control with that skill 2 as well.
Yeah. I'm thinking about challenge mode Chao still, right? From, roll over from the summit, all roads lead to Chao. That's not the case here. Chao is, as Seishizo likes to put it, is best in the pick ban.
Yeah, it looked very menacing in the pick ban phase with no wind monsters after that Layla was being banned out, but just in the game, a little bit disappointing. And we get in this game too. The pre-bans are out. We have a Tianlang and a Sigrid that are in the pre-bans.
Oliver, traitorous, switching sides over to Jiwoo fan, and Jirmo taking the Lima and the Shiho.
Well, so far into this tournament, Oliver has not been performing very well. We saw between Stayhav and Truewell. I think the Oliver player lost every time, and in the first match here too, the Oliver player did lose, so he might be 0% win rate here at the America's Preliminaries. We'll see if Jiwoo fan can turn that around as he pairs that up with arguably the strongest buff remover in Gianna.
Yeah, and even after this poor performance, Oliver is still, the value is still theoretically there. Some people were taking him, even though his performance has been bad today. Patter and Light Gojo coming down.
Yeah, Dermo has the answers against this Gianna. He has the pattern. We saw him flash that Heigang too, so if he does go for Heigang as well, that's going to be Gianna hard countered. But we see Jiwoo fan now pick the Chao as well. Obviously, does in theory well against the Shiho, ignoring that invisibility. And there are no wind monsters on the side of Dermo.
In theory is carrying a lot of weight on that sentence for sure, because we saw that happen last time. Oh, Seimei here is kind of a cute idea.
Yeah, Seimei, obviously a lot of buffs on Dermo's side, so Seimei does get quite a bit of value. Not that many debuffs, it's mainly just really stuns, as that Lima does not have to use skill 2, as there's not really any buffs to be removed on Jiwoo fan's side. Now we see Dermo go with my favorite monster lately, the Light Horang. That's looking very good here.
Wow, Dermo is styling. That was a really clutch little last pick there. Great ban on the Chao too. Now all of a sudden it's looking as if Jiwoo is lacking a little bit of damage besides the Gianna bomb, but the rest of it is a little bit lacking. But you know what? Who needs damage when you have defense break? When Annabelle puts defense break on anybody, suddenly everyone's a damage dealer.
I was just about to mention that. On the other hand, Dermo does not have a defense break, so it might be Dermo that's lacking a little bit of damage, especially with the heals that Annabelle is providing. So Jiwoo fan does probably have the advantage on the sustain side of things here too.
And this is kind of an awkward... Oh, actually, even more awkward proc. There's not a whole lot to do on this one. So she's just kind of going to pass. You hate to see that if you're Jiwoo fan, because now it's going to become less likely for him to proc in the future.
Yeah, well, at least you do get that cooldown reduction. Okay,
Triple resist.
We see a skill 2 with triple resist. That be a resist Oliver. Obviously, the Annabelle as well as the Seimei are probably higher resistance, but that Oliver resisting is a bit interesting there.
You can see the potency of the Seimei here too, limiting the invincibility, limiting the immunity on the enemy team here, and now all of a sudden, Gianna can just cleanly sweep things up. Annabelle with the skill 3 for big defense breaks and slows, and this might be the moment where Oliver cleans up his win rate a little bit.
Yeah, it might be. I really didn't like that skill 3 from Patter coming from Dermo, as you literally just let yourself get Gianna'd. You could have stayed in the Druid form, and therefore, obviously, if you're stunned, you do cleanse that stun, and then you could have cleansed all these negative effects here, assuming that Oliver didn't get a reset on you. Right now, I mean, you just power up that Gianna, because Gianna only does not have a 100% stun chance if there are no buffs. But obviously, with those immunities, Gianna's going to be stunning everyone, and I think Oliver just kind of cleans up on these defense breaks here now.
This is looking pretty done. I don't need to stick a fork in this to see that it's done, Topa. I'm pretty positive this is going in the direction of Jiwoo Fan yet again. And you made a really good point too. It's like Patter's Druid form is incredibly valuable because that's the only form he'll wake up in if he's crowd controlled.
Ooh, Oliver did miss a reset, but he does not miss that violent proc, getting a huge value skill 3 on the Patter right there. Yeah, this is cooked and very done.
Yeah, bro never misses. He just extends the game. He knows exactly what he's doing, that Oliver. He's like, don't worry, I'll get him on the second one. 2-0 in favor of Jiwoo Fan. We're in a best of 5 today, so that puts Jiwoo at match point. If he can do that one more time, he's going to do a clean sweep on his way into the semifinals.
Yeah, very strong performance coming from Jiwoo Fan here. And we'll see what can Dermo do here. He's getting more of his arsenal put in the pre-ban right now. You already see that Tianlang is being gone, so obviously that holy trio of the Light, Werner, Laura, Tianlang is unavailable to him. But we'll see what can he pick to make, a dent in Jiwoo Fan's armor here.
What does he value the most? What does he not want to see? And how can Jermo turn this around? Like, that's the main questions. Patter, even though it didn't perform super well, and the nemesis to Patter in that last game specifically, Gianna.
Yeah, once again, pretty well read by Dermo here. He kind of figured maybe he knew that his Patter was going to be put in that pre-ban, so he bans out the Gianna, as obviously he's left one less counter against that monster. But now the Lima is going back to Dermo's side, and we'll see if he can get a win with this time.
It's funny, yeah, nobody's putting Lima down there because everybody just wants to use her. And then we get Oliver and Shiho. Light Horang coming out a little earlier, so it's slightly less likely to get banned out.
Yeah, Light Horang, early pick. I mean, I myself have been actually first picking Light Horang on the ladder, so you can definitely make an early pick Horang work. Although Shiho can do pretty well in the Horang due to all that additional damage that it has on that skill 3.
Oh, dude, these picks are so fun. With the Berghild on the 3rd pick slot, Berghild is such a cool monster. She did get nerfed. She's not quite as potent as she was back when we saw Kelly and Bao use her to great success in SWC 2024. But she still gains all that bar. She still has the chance to strip and stun. Like, she's great.
Yeah, Berghild can still be very, very strong if, you have the additional damage runes to really power that through. And Jiwoo Fan going for a Laura to try to get the AoE buff removal, as well as we are going for a Josephine when the only stunner is the Berghild that doesn't even have to use that skill too. So I really don't like this Josephine pick here.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That one seems a little bit, that's a bit of a dead pick, and I think it's going to give Jermo kind of a leg up if he wants to take something here. He's trying to assemble a critical mass of annoying monsters, and he's got the wind-footing princess there, and then he gets the Annabelle to clutch it up. Right now, I'm kind of liking what Jermo's bringing. I don't know if the Wind Desert Warrior is going to be enough here.
I think the Wind Desert Warrior is probably just going to catch the ban here. It's still probably going to be strong. Okay, Layla is definitely better, and that's definitely going to be in the ban. And Dermo kind of has like a Protect the President comp here. You either have Berghild or you have the Light Horang, and then you kind of just try and protect that monster with all this support.
Yeah, it's Hwarang and Berghild versus the world, and it's Lima's job to... and Annabelle's job to keep him alive here. Can Jiwoo Fan break through and get a 3-0 in this second game? We'll find out in just a second.
Yeah, this Oliver can definitely make this work here. I would have liked to see Dermo actually even pick up the Fire Pudding instead of this Annabelle. Just kind of being obviously an unstunnable monster does kind of counter the Shiho, as well as, well, I guess your Lima is also unstunnable. So that's a pretty good start.
Sometimes that just happens. Shiho will either get super resisted or it won't even activate. Okay, let's see what she can do. Again, yeah, doesn't have to do it. Does it anyway.
through 3 buffs, and this Lima is literally 200% resistance. Nothing is landing on her. Okay, the stun finally lands, and Josephine did proc. The passive is available, but I mean, the one stun, and oh my god, the light rank damage on that branding is insane.
Plus the extra damage from ignoring the effects. That's actually crazy. Yeah, this is going great for Jirmo right now, actually. And now with the slows and the defense breaks coming out, this is actually a great spot to be in.
Yeah, Annabelle getting the proc there too. The Burger also landing seal there. So the Oliver cannot proc out of his debuffs here. The Light Orang is getting stunned here, but he doesn't care about that. He bond and procs out. And this Oliver will likely be leaving the match here to this Virgil skill 1. Not quite enough. If Oliver falls here, I think that Dermo just wins at this point.
Look at the number of turns that Berghild takes compared to every other monster. She's already next. She just went. This is actually such a great pick. I'm a big Berghild stan, even post-nerf. I think she's such a fun monster. Going for the stun, regardless of Josephine's passive, respect. Can't be stunned herself, so.
Yeah, obviously that counter doesn't matter that much coming from the Josephine. I guess he does prioritize this monkey as being more dangerous than the Josephine, although Josephine's now putting in a little bit of work, getting that 2-turn provoke on Lima as well as a violent proc to stun the Horang. So passive is available once again, and maybe he would want to strip that revenge off of the Josephine, but does not go for it.
Yeah, Lima's really hard to put down in a stun here. She's basically, like you said, 200% res. She's basically allowed one to go through, and that's it. Still rip it. I love the way that Jermo's just ripping that skill too, regardless of Josephine. Eventually, he's going to start feeling the damage, but maybe Annabelle's got that skill ready for him.
Man, yeah, Dermo, really putting a lot of value to this Josephine pick. The Josephine pick didn't seem all that great, but Dermo is making it look pretty good by putting out a stun whenever possible. And right now, we've seen that monkey do some good damage. Jibu fan can still win this game, as Dermo's side is getting pretty low on the health now.
He's taking a lot of hits. Josephine, like you said, dude, like she's kind of the MVP right now, even. But again, it's because Jirmo's playing into it. He's allowing the stuns to happen, and now he's going to start feeling all this damage. Guaranteed crits. That's pretty serious, dude.
Yeah, the guaranteed crit does do pretty well in the Horang. Obviously, Horang has that very strong passive of having elemental advantage every time he is hit. But if you get guaranteed crit, it does not matter. And right now, we're actually seeing a 2v2 situation. Now you almost have to go for the stun, and now he doesn't go for the stun.
And now he doesn't want to because he's done it too much. That's the problem. He should... Because eventually he was going to start feeling it, and now's the time when he's feeling it, dude. He was a little fast and loose with those skill 2s earlier.
Ooh, Annabelle with a clutch heal there does keep the Burghild in the game, but I mean, I think Dermo still probably wins it. You use the Harpoon Impalment. Yeah, there you go. The Harpoon Impalment doesn't even have the highest stun chance. It can miss quite consistently, so it does miss there, which is very good for Dermo, as now the monkey will be going down as the Burghild is unstunnable, and I think Dermo will still eke out a win here after a very shaky performance.
That was closer than it should have been, I think, for Jirmo, but well played. Regardless, that's 1 point on the board for him against Jiwoo Fan. Dude, he freaked me out there at the end, Tofa.
Yeah, he definitely did. I feel like the one time he should have used a skill 2, you didn't use it. And
every
other time when it was kind of questionable on to use that skill 2, he just went for it anyways. There's one time when the Josephine had literally 0 attack bar. It was slowed, it was defense broken, and he just gave it the passive, getting rid of all of those debuffs and just giving the full attack bar value. I mean, Dermo almost found a way to lose that match there.
And that's the thing. I want to get respect to Jirmo for that. But like what Topa and I are saying is that like Josephine's performance there was optional. Like, when you play into it, you're feeding her turns, getting her out of the debuffs. We could have just skill 1 most of the time. Regardless, I'm happy to see Berghild in that. Yeah, her in the pre-ban is also kind of funny because it's like, again, like, Yeah,
Berghild really getting that respect from
She's really getting respect.
I mean, she did still win the game ultimately. Obviously, being unstunnable does do pretty well on the Shiho, as well as obviously having that buff removal in all of her hits. Does counter the Shiho that Jiwoo fan likes to play, as he's first picking it once again.
And Lima back on Jirmo's side, taking Josephine is so funny.
That's pretty diabolical, I mean, now he doesn't have the Berghild. I mean, what is he gonna find? I mean, to be fair, the Josephine does do well in the Shiho. Obviously, every skill of Shiho does stun. So, it's obviously getting some value. It's, more of a counter pick than, stealing it away from Jiwoo fan.
That's the most SWC 2025 thing that I've seen all day today. Like last year, people were taking like the stunner and the anti-stun units back and forth from each other all day at the America's Cup in Brazil last year. And so now we're seeing this happen again. Like Jirmo doesn't want to deal with all Josephine's nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, can't blame him for that. Josephine did have a very strong performance the last game too. Did get a unusually high violent proc rate too. That definitely helped there. And you know, the Horang was actually like permanently controlled by the Josephine skill once there too. And now Dermo actually kind of running out of time there. But I mean, those are pretty good monsters to pick when you run out of time.
Yeah. You know, the Light Gojo's getting theoretically, there's a lot of value to be had here with that third skill cleanse. The Chow is also, he's not facing a whole lot of scary stuff on Jirmo's side. So it's also, again, in theory, pretty good here.
Yeah, Chow looking pretty strong. I wouldn't hate the Layla pick once again from Jiwoo fan here. Obviously, there's no fire monsters either on Dermo's side. And the slows would do pretty well. Dermo last picking that Light Horang obviously does do pretty well into Chow, but not so well into a CR bomb.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like the answer to Light Horang is already on the board. So, you know, it's great that he got rid of it, but, you know, yeah, I think Jiwoo would have had that on lock if he I would have loved the Layla here, Topa.
Yeah, the Light Horang is still probably the highest piece of damage on Dermo's side, so he's probably pretty comfortable just banning that out as thinking, you know, Angela will out-sustain the comp, or then Chow will kind of solo. But I mean, Chow solo is pretty ambitious these days, and we'll see the additional damage artifacts that Dermo has here. Will they be enough to take him the game here?
It's a lot of tempo from Jirmo early. He really took kind of control of the game here, and it's really, again, valuable to get Annabelle to just use that skill 2 as soon as possible. Ken Chow, barely a dent, but still cool.
Yeah, good damage. You know, there's just that heal over time that Dermo has. So not much healing. CR getting that unfortunate violent proc now, and Laura with the skill 2, pretty good stuns.
Just awful proc from CR. You hate to see that. That's the one thing about Vio is you don't get to choose. So, you know, sometimes you get awkward turns like this. Jirmo's in a position where he can kind of hold some skills here. So he can kind of stun up that Annabelle easy. Wow.
Yeah, good stun on the Annabelle. Definitely wants to just kill these 3 monsters and leave that Chow for last. And hopefully Dermo has enough gas left in the tank at the end of this match. Because Chow next turn is going to be taking out this Light Gojo here likely. So it's already going to be at a 3v4 deficit.
See, yeah,
it's not enough.
Shy, not enough. He's actually going to heal. Yeah, he's going to heal away from lethal range because of the heal buff. He will be without immunity, though. So if Ciara wants to do that thing where she procs again, she might be able to take him out with the just the third skill.
Yeah, Gojo does get a skill 2 off, so does get some absorbs there. Annabelle also does have skill 3 available, and she is moving next. Can Lima get the proc? Does not get the proc. So this defense break slows are going to hurt. But Laura also does have skills up, so that's actually kind of counteracting it. There's defense break and slows, but there's also defense buff and speed buff.
Gojo's gone, which also means the big cleanse. Chow with the proc into the Justice. Lima's gone, dude. Jiwoo taking this back.
Oh, that is a crucial violent proc coming from that Chow, as Lima did have skills available. That cleanse, invisibility, immunity, heals was going to be coming out, but I think from this position, the Chow probably wins due to that violent proc.
Yeah, I think Chow, there's really no world where enough damage can come out of this, because you also can't apply enough debuffs really for Chow to stay down. So yeah, this is it, dude. Chow proving he's more than just a pick ban threat. He's probably going to take this. Look at the healing coming up from this huge Justice. Wow. Everyone's down, and with a bang, dude. Jiwoo moving forward.
Yeah, very well played right there. I mean, that Chow had that insane clutch violent proc, because that literally just one shot from near full health at Lima. And if had Lima gotten the skill 3 off, there would be no defense breaks. Chow don't think he can one-shot anything at that point in the game. We're in that late. We're probably at like 20 up, 20 down, maybe 30 up, 30 down. So Chow would need a lot more turns to take anything out. And Lima is probably the highest additional damage on this team as well. Those skill 1s could have done some damage to that Chow.
Yeah. Jirmo put up a fight there. Like he was trying to turn it on towards those latter 2, but ultimately Jiwoo just, you know, he played really clean, and it was a very good Vio from Chow, but it's like that's kind of, you bring Chow for his resilience against stuff like that. So you'd kind of hope that Chow would win that engagement. It was a great pick. It was lucky. We also saw him get the worst Vio proc in that round too. So, you know, it gives and it takes.
Yeah, you know, Bio obviously do pick the Bio Chow to get those clutch violent procs. So That is all fair. Obviously, Dermo not having that Chow performance in that first match that I was looking for. And this game too, Jiwoo Fan just kind of was able to outlast Dermo's immunity and buffs, and he just didn't have enough damage to, capitalize on his turn 1 on Dermo's side.
And some missed timing on like maybe that pattern skill 3. There's a little room for like some of those nuances, like especially things like that really do dictate the flow of the game. Like earlier today when we saw an Etna skill 2 dictate the course of a game, right? Same with others. That crazy Lima res, bro.
Yeah, this was a crazy third game. Dermo really gave the Josephine so much value for all of these skill 2s, and I mean, Josephine absolutely popped off. I mean, we just see it time and time again. Literally the montage of Josephine getting their additional turns.
I'm dead, bro. Not the montage of giving Josephine turns.
Oh man,
that was awesome. No, this was a phenomenal matchup. I really enjoyed that, and yeah. Got to the position where Chow could carry at home. Well done, Jiwoo Fan. He'll be meeting True Whale in the semifinals once we wrap up the quarters here. I'm having a great time, Topo. These are good games.
Oh yeah, those were good games. Now, there were some questionable plays from Dermo's side, but Jiwoo Fan ultimately played it super well. Had some fortunate moments there too, obviously with that Chow in that game 4. But ultimately, he definitely is deserving of that, taking that game and meeting True Whale, who's probably going to be a bit bigger of a challenge, in those semifinals. Yeah. Folks, I'm sure a lot of people have, I don't know. I'd love to see a show of hands in chat because I do have the chat open on the side. What's up, y'all? I'd love to see a show of hands of this is their first SWC, but just in case it is, True Whale is likely the favorite here, I will just say, because, he's got an amazing history in competitive Summoners War. Now, Here's a player with an awesome history who hasn't been in a tournament setting before. Zadoris has always kind of been around in the community, Topa. Yeah, Zedder's, I called him Thanos earlier because I think he's kind of he's been around for a while and he's been wanting someone from the Americas or Europe region to take SWC, but no one's been able to do it. So Zedder's decided himself, fine, I'll do it myself, and he's finally making his debut in SWC. As you've seen the most picked, there's a lot of LDs and there's a lot more than in that most picked shows.
Yeah, he's got great options, and here's his opponent, Koizu here, and it looks like in season 36, he and Zed have kind of an even matchup. We see 2 wins, 2 losses up against him there. This is interesting. Funny seeing that he's got both the Nikki and the Annabelle in the most picked.
Yeah, that double girl sprayer, actually the 2 most picked. Really utilizing that cleanse heal. Obviously, very strong skill 2, and then, that skill 1 getting those additional turns. As well as, if you have good additional damage, those skill 3s on both monsters, even on tanky builds, can do some good damage.
Yeah, dang Skippy, dude. Here we go, guys. We got him ready and matched up. We're going into the pick ban phase here. Koizu taking the Dark Aragorn as a first pick?
Yeah, there we go. We're digging the Zedder's box. I don't know how well that's going to end for Koizo, as Zedder's is pretty much an infinite monster box. So you take one away, and Zedder's has multiple backing it up. But Zedder's also kind of digging the Koizo's box, maybe stealing away that Annabelle.
Yeah, the Windstark still being an excellent pick, even following his appearance in the balance patch. Dude, still seeing tons of play. He was at the second most picked recently, at least, following Shiho. Is he still there, Topa? Do you know?
Yeah, Windstark is still the second most picked monster in Guardian 3 RTA, although he does have a sub 50% win rate on the ladder. So we'll see what Zetters can do to pair up with that monster, and what can he do to make it work.
That was a long time on that draft. I don't think it was an auto pick, but he was definitely thinking for a long time here. So we got the Oliver and the Oki on Koizu's side, which I really love. You'd also love to have something to open up the enemy team, so that way Dark Aragorn can do his thing.
Yeah, I mean, Koizu right now has picked 3 resetting monsters. So if you've ever seen a game for Windpaw, I think this would definitely be a game where Windpaw could do some damage. But Zedder's going for an unreasonable monster in that Elav. Is that skill 3 cannot be reset, and it does fully refresh cooldowns too.
Yeah, hopefully, Koizu's kind of hoping that the enemy team has no will, I think, is kind of the idea at this point. But also, I really like, I like where Zed is digging here, bringing the Lima at the end, turning this into just a bombastic draft.
Yeah, I really like Zedders' draft here. I'm not a huge fan of Koizu's draft here. there's not really too much to set up all this AoE
Right.
damage, or I mean, I guess it's only really the Dark Aragorn that really cares about that. Obviously, Oki can set up with that skill too, but if that Old Wood, yep, the Old Wood is banned out. There's no sustain on Koiso's side either. So they're slightly going to be taking turn 1 here too with this Werner, and Koiso doesn't have enough buff removers to control everything on Zed's side.
Yeah, that's my concern as well. It's like he brought all the follow-up, but none of the setup. So we'll see how this ends up going for him here. Zed likely taking that turn 1 with the Light Gojo. Here we go. Big skill 2 to start us off. What does he get? Gets lots of reses, but does collect the immunity.
Oh yeah, lots of reses there, and unfortunately does not desync the Oliver to that Josephine either. So Oliver is able to now go on that Annabelle after Josephine does punch a hole for it. And now Okeanos can look to reset something. Goes for that Stark. I think I would have preferred to see that go on the Ella and then just reduce the attack bar of Ella to 0, because now Ella does have all skills available and does boost up a monster as well. So skills will be available.
That team up showing that's a powerful team up, and he is aiming to get Annabelle out of here fast. He wants Zedorus to have
damage.
No support. Look at that damage coming from the Oliver of all things.
Yeah, not enough with the defense. Oh, he actually has to use skill 3 here. Yep, because you don't want to stun and accidentally trip up that Josephine. So now Annabelle is going to be getting that turn. Can get some healing, or he's just going to rip the skill 3. He's going for the damage. Koiso doesn't have any heals, so that damage is going to be sticking.
What a goated play. That's brave, dude. That was a cute play. And also having that unit passive like that is going to juice up the Windstark.
Wait, Stark might cook here. If Stark violent proc, we might see an entire dead team. Yeah. Okay, no violent proc, no cinema play here, but still, obviously a lot of defense breaks sitting on top of Koiso's team. He doesn't want to get a stun with this Gojo here, and fortunately does not collect one.
Just like give him some time and he'll cook with that Windstark. Assuming he lives here, actually, this is a lot of damage coming towards the Windstark.
Oh man, this Oliver is doing so much damage. I think the Stark's gonna go down. Oki has skill 3 on defense break branding. Ella. Skill 1, you can get a little bit of healing. That might just be enough to save the Stark.
Right? I think that is... Oh, yeah, that's it. That's enough. But Stark is going to get at least one more turn here, assuming he takes enough bar.
Maybe not.
Maybe not,
dude. Blades.
Attack buff?
Oh, it's going to be enough. Okay, Stark gets one more turn, but he still reset. He doesn't have that skill 2 clean.
He needs
a proc. Does not get the proc.
Nothing, dude. Wow. Zed's not getting lucky with this side here at all. This is just well played in this position right now. Meanwhile, I am fascinated by Koizu's triple reset comp. I don't know if that word has ever left my mouth before. Triple reset.
Yeah, triple reset. Obviously, we see the combination of Oliver and Okeanos quite often, but with the Dark Aragorn, not a monster that many people have, so obviously not seen as much. Now, Zed really needs to get this done on the... Ooh, I think you had to go on the Oliver to get your Ella turn, but I think Ella will still actually take a turn here. And obviously that skill 3 is unreasonable. But the Oliver gets the violent proc and he absorbs more attack bar, and he can.
That was a really good play. Getting rid of that attack bar. We got the hollow purple coming out here. Zed is not out per se. God, Windfall would have legitimately cooked. It would have been so sick.
Man, I think Zed is making a couple misplays here. He used that hollow purple. I think he should have just gone for a stun on the Oliver. If you stun the Oliver, your Ella gets a turn there. And Ella obviously does have, 3 totems, so you can get immunity, heals, as well as food introduction, or you could just use that skill 3 to refresh your monster. And right now, yeah, Zed's going to pay the price. He's going to be falling here.
Yeah, dude, this is like the darkest timeline for Zed right now. Having a stun on you and a slow at the same time, so you're just crawling to your next turn, and then you probably just skip it if you don't proc. Really well played from Koizu. Yeah, I think I liked what Zed was going for though, Topa, with the Ella to counter all those resets.
Yeah, it definitely favored Zed's draft there. I think there were a couple misplays, but Koizu's that damage on the Oliver definitely surprised me there a little bit. It was actually the highest attack monster, so it teamed up with that Dark Aragorn, and therefore in Dark Aragorn getting the defense break, that attack buff is going to be for an extra turn, and the Oliver put out some serious damage that ultimately was what gave Koizu the win here.
Low-key a surprising amount of damage from the Oliver. I was pretty impressed by what he was capable of doing on a defense break. It was awesome. So we got the Oki and the pre-ban. That's actually a little surprising to me, and the Lima.
Yeah, that is not surprising to me. The Lima there, and the Dark Aragorn is now being stolen by Zed. So he's taking that away from Koizu, as well as that Oki is in the pre-ban, but Koizu has other resetting monsters. He has a segment.
Yeah, dude's like, I can still find a way to triple reset you somehow. We got we're one down, 2 more to go. We'll see if he wants to do it. The Light Gojo is making a return. He's reprising his role. on Zed's team.
Yeah, like Gojo, likely on Swift, as we saw from the last game. Obviously, no Violent Procs, no Despairs, and it did take that turn 1. So Koizo probably knows that is going to be a turn 1 threat. And we see the return of the Berg Guild. I love that pick.
Oh, dude, the Berg Guild has really been impressing me today.
Yeah, it has. The Annabelle is also a very good pick coming from Koizo here. Obviously, there's no immunity. There's a little bit of cleanse on the side of Zed with that, like Gojo. But Annabelle, that skill 3 is just so devastating. Also, it does provide some cleanse and heals for your team as well.
He's really scrambling. Oh, it's the return of the 2 units that appeared in his most picked. We know Koizu's really comfortable playing with both Annabelle and Nikki together. So now Zed is bringing back the Windstark. This is the kind of dream team I would like to assemble.
Yeah, this is the Avenger team here from Zed right now. The Avengers are uniting. The Stark is coming into. Ella is making return as well. Does, once again, kind of counter that segment as well as the immunity is very nice to prevent all those negative effects that Koizo is bringing right now.
And Fire Legolas, or as you like to call him, Casino Legolas, because of the first skill with the varying hits. That's kind of cool. There's not a whole lot of buffs for him to take except for what Ella applies, but he's really good for reducing the attack bar. And so Zed is going to ban that out because he doesn't want to get pushed back again. We kind of had that happen last time with Oliver, so he doesn't want to repeat history.
Yeah, definitely a solid ban there. Just Legolas, not many buffs to steal, but obviously gets a lot of value from stealing that attack bar. And it has that casino factor where if you just 5-hit every time, I mean, it is the best monster in the game.
Big skill 2, repeating the start of the game before, and now there's no Josephine for him to really be afraid of, unlike the last time we saw Berg Guild in this tournament.
Yeah, but unfortunately this time the Berg Guild does not connect, did not get the stun or the pushback or absorb on that skill. There's a very unfortunate skill right there. At least the Shiho does not stun the Stark, so Stark can go for some provokes, but that is going to be likely into max resistance occult girls.
Yeah, well said. And then, so Sekhmet taking a nothing turn. We got provokes, big provokies coming out here. This is probably going to be another skip, even though she's not even provoked. I don't think you use the cleanse here, right?
You could use the cleanse since Nikki has a backup cleanse, but I think Nikki's now just going to be the target. And this Stark, oh no, defense break, man. This is why Berg Guild is not seeing that much play. She's not the most consistent unit in the meta right now. Missing it. I mean, miss the stun, miss the defense break. That is hurting.
And also just rip it. Zed really likes ripping the hollow purple.
Yeah, units that very early, as now Sekhmet could go for a skill 2 here, but no, Ops go for the Charming Voice, resetting the Stark. And now Ella, I think you want to use this skill 3 on yourself. You get full attack bar, and then you can use that skill. Oh no, you get the Violent Proc anyways. You hate to see that. Kind of wasting that skill 3, but either way, you get the skill 4 off. You're protected once again with the immunity.
Yeah. The consistent thing I'm seeing in this game is everybody's using their cleanses when they don't need them. But like you said, you got the backup from Nikki when you got it. Here comes the big skill 3 to apply the attack buff, do a little damage out there to the enemy team of Zed. Now all of a sudden, Stark's looking pretty low.
Yeah, Stark is dangerously low. This is also the main way to counter Stark, is just targeting it first, as that way he doesn't get a whole lot of value from the damage increase of his passive.
It lands, the Annabelle landed the defense break in the slow on the very first hit against Windstark. That's a high performance Annabelle.
Ooh, but that's also giving Stark attack bar and no defense break again. What is going on? Dude, come on, Berg Guild, stop throwing. No stuns, no defense breaks. The Stark would have had a meal on that Nikki, but now with the skill 2, may still be able to take it out. It's not enough.
Oh, this is why it's hard to love Berg Guild in 2026, dude. Like, I love her for the attack bar gain and no crowd control, but it's hard, man. No. Like, she's not as good. Just shy. That defense break is really hurting the Light Gojo skill too.
Oh man, and no. The Light Gojo got 0 absorbs on that Nikki. If you got even 1 absorb, the Berg Guild would have moved in front and likely would have been able to finish off the Nikki. So Zedis is not getting anything in these matchups here. This is just absolute bottom low rolling right now. As the Berg Guild finally gets a defense break now.
Dude, it's so late.
It hasn't been proc this whole time.
It hasn't wait, it's violent. Dude, okay, wait. Zed has gotten like 0 value. He got the defense break when it literally didn't matter anymore.
Man, I mean, this is kind of a bit, frustrating. I can feel Zed's frustration through the screen, right? Look, still no stun. I mean, this Berg Guild is kind of showing why she's not played that much. She's not providing any value. Meanwhile, Annabelle just getting the Violent Proc, skill 3, game over. Koizo 2-0 lead. It's the scoop.
It's the scoop. Yeah, I could feel, legitimately, Zed, if you're listening, we're tilted for you, dog. Like, I feel that pain because he got no value that whole game, Topa. The defense break from the Berghild came out when it no longer mattered.
Yeah, I mean, he had 2 opportunities to get a defense break where that Nikki would have gone down if had that defense break landed, but didn't land. And then the moment, like as the Stark's gone, you don't have that follow-up damage anymore, then the defense break lands. And also the Berkhill did miss both the first 2 stuns, and I mean, it took her like 8 turns to get a violent proc. Like, what is that?
Yeah, and we did also see some nice choices from Koizu even towards the end. He chose to press the advantage instead of cleansing the defense break off of Nikki. He chose to confirm the kill. Well played, great threat assessment, and risk analysis. Koizu taking back that Dark Aragorn for this game 3 here. And it is worth mentioning that Koizu's at game point.
Yeah, he is. Koizu definitely played that very well. He had a lot of fortunate moments through the Zed's misfortune in that last game, but he definitely made the most out of the opportunity right there. Very well used all of his skills, very calculated there, and does get the win. And right now we're moving on to this game 3, potentially the last game. The Dark Aragorn has once again switched sides, but Zedder is bringing a couple Dark Nat 5s of his own.
The Dark Stark's debut in SWC America's region, that's a cool monster to show off here. And this again is why we love the stack ban chat, because we start getting some weird, cool new picks that you wouldn't normally get to see if it was just one alternating pre-ban.
Yeah, both the LD oracles are in the pre-ban, so Zed has to dig a little bit deeper in this box, and as he digs deeper, he finds more Dark Nat 5s. Now we have a Han, obviously getting pretty good value on that speed lead if he does decide to go for a full Dark team, which he is doing right now.
Fala daily, chat. Fala daily. Salve, galera. Salve no chat. Salve, guys. Yeah, full Dark team from Zed. This is crazy, guys. Yeah, again, it's like this is really out there, and a full new team from Zed.
Yeah, Zed needs an insane, crazy last pick here. I think he could angle the ban towards the Eleanor, because the Eleanor kind of messes with your Han. It could be missing crits. Yeah, unless that's Swift Rakuni, it's not really a speed threat from a Koizu's side. And even if it's a Swift Rakuni, there's not really, assuming your team's on full will, it's not a whole lot of value that would give Koizu here. So Zed needs to have a really strong last pick here, something that can kind of just solo the team, or at least duo the team in combination with that Dark Star, because otherwise the Han might get banned and Zed might not have enough damage to bring this home.
Yeah, well said. And there it is. That's a nice little source here. Does that mean he's banning out like the Juno or the Eleanor here?
Yeah, that's I'm not the biggest fan of the intro pick here. I think you kind of have to ban out the Juno. If you go with that, obviously you can control the monsters, but yeah, your Han just gets banned out now. And without defense break, I'm not sure if Zed has enough damage in this matchup here.
Doesn't look like it, but I'm open to being surprised. Meanwhile, Koizu's got like a fortress set up on this side here between the Rakuni and the Eleanor. So we'll see what he's capable of. Wunsa's got a few different immunities to pick off the enemy team. And can we get a full team? We got 2 increased cooldown times on the right units as well.
Wow, and a near full team stun from a Despair Nyx. Just rip that skill 2 from that Stark office. That's going to be a lot of damage. But the Rakuni was not reset. Ooh, but the Indra cuts after that Rakuni, so it's not going to be cleansing anything else here. Now the Indra damage. Oh. 0 provokes!
0, but that's the only thing he's here to do. That's all he's here to do, bro. We're just... Zed...
I mean, no. I didn't like the intro pick, but this was not the reason. I mean, I expected to get at least some provokes. This is just insane.
Did he glance? Was that an Eleanor intervention? Is that what happened? I'd love to see. We'll check the replay. We'll see what happened in the replay. Either way, he ends up with no provokes. Zed is clearly trying to line up a pseudo-infinite provoke angle here because of the Nyx to extend the provoke time. But, like, you can't infinitely provoke if your Indra backfires on you.
Yeah, you can't extend the provoke if there is no provoke in the first place. And meanwhile, this Oliver is having absolute field day right now. Oh, okay, never mind. Maybe not.
Oh,
double resistance right there. It's
field day canceled.
Yeah, it's a rainy day. Pack it up. Field day is over.
Up,
and I mean, Zed, man, that Indra is reset for so long though.
It's funny. I'm just noticing too that like there is so much elemental diversity on Koizu's side that Zed's not getting any value off the skill 1 from the Indra.
Yeah, there's actually no duplicate elements there. Wait, Stark for proc here. Could get the skill 2 and that could do a lot of damage. Nope, does not get the proc. And now the skills will be reset once again.
Look at that. Koizu, really well executed on that one. If he can maintain this advantage, this game could be his and he could be qualified for the semis.
I mean, the Oliver is just absolutely missing everything right now. Once again, double resisted on that Indra. No Violent Procs to Indra. Does get a little bit of pushback there, but really needs to get those Violent Procs, get back in that skill too, and hopefully get, at least one provoke, I guess.
Or something. Not super extreme damage. There's only one target available because of the threat state that Stark puts on himself. Actually, you might just want to keep going into that regardless. That defense break is looking pretty spicy.
It definitely is. Not with that slow and that Stark too. It is not the Wind Stark, so it does not get attack bar when you hit it. So you can definitely get rid of this Dark Stark now, as it is probably the biggest damage horse on Zed's side right now. This Indra, if it does find a proc, does have skill too, but there's immunity on everyone.
It's a tough spot. It's going to take patience and a lot of doing from Zed. And also, low-key, a Wounsa skill 3 again. So we'll see if Zed can last long enough to do this. But it's looking more and more dire by the moment. Meanwhile, Koizu's in an amazing position.
He really is. I mean, Zed's just... I didn't like the Indra pick. I think something that maybe had like defense break. Honestly, something like a Bella, as weird as it sounds, would have been a lot better in that last pick slot. But the Indra also just missing every single provoke. It's just an unheard of performance, and even getting stunned by his Eleanor. I mean, the Indra is not having it today.
And I really want to see that moment in the highlights again. I want to see, like, was that an Eleanor intervention? Was that the passive that, like, adds the glance opportunity? Or did he not activate? That was really confusing because I've never seen him miss all. That was a cute little 2-turn sleep that Rakuni really dusted up there.
Yeah, 2-turn sleep, and Rakuni said, nope, no chance for you, Zed. And this game is over. Wounsa is going to be falling this damage Oliver. Once again, and now we get that team up for that big damage onto that defense break as well. And that is over. Koizu 3-0 against Zeders. Well played.
Koizu, well played, sending Zedverus all the way to day 3 next weekend. So it's not over for him, chat. So if you're a Zed fan and you want to see him try again, he will be here next Saturday, same time, same place. For now, Koizu is moving forward into our next semifinalist position. Super well played from him, and also you can tell that Oliver's like really well ruined because the Dark Aragorn kept selecting it as the highest attack monster. Like that's a pretty well ruined Oliver.
Yeah, interesting to see that, in that game 3 right there, obviously there was nothing else that would have high attack. I don't think you're going to have a high attack of Rakuni or Eleanor, but in game 1 there was an Okeanos. Usually you would expect that team up to go on the Okeanos, but it did go on that Oliver, and obviously that worked out very well. And yeah, Zeders, maybe a couple of misplays in that game 1, could have gone for a couple of skill 1 stunts, maybe give the Ella extra turns, but I mean, he just didn't really get much to work with.
Yeah, the first game for Zed was that. This game, too, I stand by what we were talking about. There was 0 value coming out of the Berg Guild, unfortunately. It was really, like, for him, it was a very sad performance compared to the Berg Guild we saw earlier today.
Yeah, the earlier Berg Guild didn't miss a single thing. And, I guess that Berg Guild used up all of the Berg Guild, debuffs that were allotted for today. So no more Berg Guild debuffs for the rest of the day. And we see here just absolutely doing nothing to just get the Violent Proc finally to get rid of the Nikki, but it was too little too late.
And that's when we were surprised about that. Let's check this moment if it is in the highlights, which I hope it is. I want to see what happens. Done 3 glancings.
Yep.
3 glancings. So that was a really well drafted Eleanor, and that's kind of why Eleanor is extremely disruptive for stuff like this, right? So I know you kind of got to ban Juno, but you want to ban the Eleanor because you want to dodge stuff like that, right?
Yeah, that's why I really would have preferred him to just go angle towards ban on that Eleanor. That also would, in case that his Han gets through, that gives the Han a lot higher chance of, just sniping out units. But then you obviously have to pick something else that can deal with Juno. And, if you had some sort of defense break or maybe, some sort of pushback, I think that would have done a lot better.
True. Like a big damage option towards the end. I understand the feeling, too, of like, okay, I drafted this Nyx, and it's kind of not getting a ton of debuff value. It's almost like I'm wasting his passive, right? But at some point, you just kind of got to get accepted with the fact that, like, hey, a 3-turn glancing is really good. A 3-turn defense break is really good. You don't have to min-max. You can take the middle road in a manner of speaking here. And now, Koizu going forward into the semifinals. And now we'll see who his opponent will be in match 4. Goku 4 versus Terixum is coming up after this.
Yeah, Koizu is running down the Malevolent Gauntlet. Zedrus, Goku, and Terixum are all actually members of Malevolent, one of the top guilds on the global server. And Koizu has already taken one of them down. Obviously, his next opponent will be from that guild as well. So we'll see which one of these guildies will be advancing to the semifinals as we get in this match between Goku and Terixum.
And what a fun detail, too, because it's like when you're in a guild with folks, it's like I imagine you probably do some scrims to prepare to a certain extent as well. And you're probably more familiar with each other's accounts because you're in a guild together. And Terixin has quite the fine-looking account by the most picked, most banned.
Yeah, he has a very, very nice comp that he utilized in Season 36. He actually hasn't really been playing this comp as much on like Season 37 and in the current Season 38, but it has a very nice, volume, light Tanjiro snipe comp that he really spammed to qualify this tournament. And it did do well against Goku. We saw his record was 4-3 in Season 36.
Yeah, I couldn't help but notice too. Terixin's got a lot of games played. That was a ton, like 800 wins. Like that was pretty insane. And then Goku is bringing back that Dark Aragorn, which we've seen a little bit today. Looks like both these players enjoy playing fast games.
Yeah, definitely. And Goku also has a lot more LDs than that. He has a Light Fern. He's aside from True Will, who may have a Light Fern. We did see Stay High pre-ban or a stack ban. That Light Fern in the game too, so we didn't see a Light Fern appearance, but Goku I know for sure does have a Light Fern, so we might be seeing some Light Fern gameplay here.
Which has been a big point of discussion for folks in the community. That Light Fern is far and away, we'll say, the best LD5 in the game right now. We were discussing like how to counterpick against her before. You want to share some of those insights because it might be relevant?
Yeah, we'll see if it becomes relevant here. Looking at some of the stats of Light Fern, she kind of struggles into ragdoll teams, interestingly enough. I think a lot of Light Ferns are built on crit rate, so you kind of want her to deal some damage, especially with some additional damage artifacts. So ragdoll teams, turn 2 teams do pretty well, and there's some other like niche monsters as well as like Juno, Wind Aya that do pretty well, obviously all those debuffs, as well as then, like Bolvar Gelnir, as the Light Fern does put up 4 buffs every time, so you can kind of counter with those passive monsters as well.
The Wind Aya being one of my favorites because it's really cool to see her self-activate because you can throw a skill 1 into the enemy team and then it reflects that heal block back on her, and now all of a sudden she's applied a debuff to herself, which is a cute way of dealing with it. And of course, chat, Bulwark stocks have been going up for ages, what with the introduction of the Water Old Wood and now the Light Fern. It's like we have tons of ways for Bulwark to just get better and better. Goku 4 bringing back the Oliver, the Shiho. We've seen a lot of them today, and we're probably going to keep seeing a lot more, too.
Yeah, and Terixin going for the Vanessa, Bella, as well as the Raccoon. This is actually what he has been playing on the ladder recently. He has kind of moved away from the LDs, and he's adopted a little bit like a Obabo style of play here. He also likes to play this with Water Monkey a lot, but Goku did steal that Water Monkey away from him, so he's left without that high base monster, so we'll see how he responds, as Goku is likely going to push this tournament advantage here.
Yeah, he's taking his time thinking about this, bringing a Water Gojo, the first Water Gojo we've seen today, and then a Gianna to back it up.
I mean, Water Gojo cannot be pushed back, so in that sense, it does pretty well into Bella, as obviously that can have a lot of pushbacks with that skill 1. But on the other end of the coin, Water Gojo is a defense-based monster that's not going to be having a lot of hit points, and Bella with a lot of additional damage can kind of shred through that monster.
Nice, and then we've got a couple anti-crowd control options coming from Terixin towards the end. So this is really kind of a turn 2 specialty. Again, I'm like a little worried about damage, but on a defense break that Vanessa can bring, anything can deal damage.
Yeah, for sure. We also do have a bomb coming out of that Zenisek here, as well as obviously the anti-stun capabilities that he has are pretty strong here. That Bella might be getting banned out, but then Terixin team is very resilient with also some heals, passive shielding, as well as obviously very anti-CC.
Yeah, let's see what the bans go out. Again, I wouldn't be super surprised at a Bella ban to get rid of the damage, but I could see Zenisek or Josephine as well being a good option just to get rid of one of the crowd control things. And ops for the Josie and then Ella.
Yeah, I think Ella is a pretty obvious ban from Terixin here. That way, Goku's left with no sustain, so all damage you do is permanent. And obviously, Terixin drafted heavily in this anti-CC, so he's kind of comfortable just fighting the first 4 picks of Goku.
All right, guys, here we go. We're getting into it. The first set of the last quarterfinals game on day 1 of the Americas prelims here. Shiho taking turn 1. Can stun up Bella if he so wants.
Well, probably. Okay, goes in the Bella, but he's not tuned. Terixin's not tuned. That Zenisek does not move from the Bella, so Bella will actually lose that turn here. But Vanessa does get that buff removal now, and Zenisek could be looking to stun this Gianna as well as bomb it. But both get resisted.
Oh! Terixin trying to join the zero value club along with Zadorus.
Oh my god, population 2 on the zero value town right now. And I mean, Gianna can't really get much value with skill 3, so opts to not use that, just go to that bomb. And now boost up on the Bella, but the Oliver cuts in. Yeah, he did not see that. Now you just gave Oliver even more value as it gets full attack bar. That's missed the reset though.
Yeah, this is a tough formation of attack bar gain here for Turkson, I'm noticing. It's like, yeah, Goku is managing to weave in these big effects before Zenisek can do anything about it. Same with Rakuni, actually. Rakuni's not getting a lot of value.
Yeah, no skill 1 stuns connecting that Bella. So Bella, with that speed buff, once again does outspeed the Zenisek, so would not have been getting cleansed, but now does get some speed buff value. That is 2.4k's hit, so 2.4k's times 6. It's pretty decent damage coming out of that Bella.
Yeah, lots of damage for sure. Missed all but one attack bar pushback, and now finally lands that stun and that bomb, which is half the reason why you bring the Zenisek to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, Zenisek has taken 2 turns as well as 2 violent procs. So you know what, maybe that maybe does not join in that 0 value club. But Gianna getting that full team stun. But I think Zenisek is actually moving perfectly here, and he's going to be cleansing up all of those stuns.
For the first time in this game, here we go. Oh wait, can he mix them up in this? Oh no, not to the point where it's actually going to mean anything. He's still going to get some value.
Yeah, good value right there. But I mean, the team is getting very low, and the Shiho is going to be outspeeding. Does have skill 3 available. That is going to be a dead Bella. With the Bella gone, there is not that much damage on Turkson's side. The Vanessa does have that bomb sitting on top of it. Rakuni does get the proc, but he doesn't cleanse the Vanessa. If you boost yourself, do you move in front of the Vanessa? He doesn't boost itself.
Interesting. I would have maybe thought about boosting yourself there, but yeah, curious.
Yeah, I think you almost had to go for that. I'm not sure if the Rakuni would have outsped the Vanessa, as obviously Vanessa was already looking at 100 attack bar. But I think you kind of had to go for that because you're so far behind. Just giving the turn that Zenisek is not going to be enough here. As Vanessa now falls, and Goku is just looking to clean up this match here.
Yeah, this is looking like it is going to very much be Goku's game. Turkson's probably slowly starting to realize that. Does get the bomb and the stun, but it's not super important at this point because the chip damage from Oliver combined with the high output from Shiho is going to be enough to close this out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he almost has to save the bomb for the Shiho, because otherwise the Shiho, if it gets another rotation of invisibility and immunity, he's just going to be winning this game. So he kind of has to catch that Shiho in that off turn and then get that bomb on it, but that bomb is not available, and Shiho gets that stun. Probably going to be lapping this Zenisek with that as well. And one more skill 3 is going to be deleting another mod. I mean, this Gojo alone is probably going to win this game too.
Yeah, look at that. He's doing decent damage. Turkson's probably taking this time to think. You know, that does come to there's a certain point where you just want to use all the time you're given to try to think about what went wrong and how you can change up your draft for the next game. So Turkson's probably using all the time to his favor right now. Shiho's going to clean it up on the Rakuni. It's Zenisek versus the world, and that is not going to do too much. So now Goku is going to clean up that first round here and go 1 point above his guilty Turkson.
Yeah, Turkson falling there just a bit short. I would have liked to see him maybe put a bit more priority on the Shiho pick. I think you kind of know that your opponent doesn't really play Vanessa that much. I think Turkson is maybe falling back on his ladder habits there. You know, just first picking that Vanessa as he normally does on the ladder. But you could have probably just gone for that Shiho to secure that more highly contested monster.
Yeah, we'll see what these guys opt to pre-ban here. There's definitely some good choices following that game. Oh, Lima Yanhong. Interesting.
Yeah, Yanhong finding its way into pre-bans. You know, that is a monster that was very strong a few years ago. I myself own this monster and have not drafted her in a good 2 years, honestly, at this point. You know, just kind of fallen off. But, I mean, some players still do use her to great effect.
I suppose Turkson is likely one of them. Stealing the Shiho this game is a super impactful monster when that third skill activates consistently. We have seen it where it doesn't activate and it just doesn't do anything. But he's so good in mass that we love him.
Ooh, and something that's going to make that activation a bit harder is going to be this Nyx looking to just, you know, discern those stuns and therefore just negate them. And also Eleanor. I mean, we saw just how effective Koisa's Eleanor was earlier today.
Yeah, dude, that's a monster that has, like, actually made a really solid impression today. The horse. Don't underestimate the horse, chat.
Yeah, but Bella, on the other hand, does not really care about glancing all that much. Just the additional damage is going to be enough to push through. And Turkson, always on his very comfortable picks. He got that Shiho. Once again, would have liked to see Goku just put more prior on that Shiho. You know your opponent's going to be a Vanessa player, so you don't need to take the Oliver. You could just take that Shiho away.
Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't considered that for sure. Turkson, yeah, trying to kind of run it back plus Shiho. Interesting.
Yeah, Goku, however, is switching it up here, going for that Nyx as well as the Eleanor. The Eleanor is not great in a bruiser fight, just
No
better
way.
in a solo fight. And we see a Lars,
No
the Light
way.
Geralt, come through alongside that Gojo's. A lot of AoE damage with these two monsters, and there's not that much heals on Turkson's side.
Bro's trying to give us a treat. That is so fun, dude. Yeah, Goku's having fun with it. And it's actually a solid choice here. I think this is probably one of the better positions you could draft it in.
Yeah, Lars did get a slight buff in that most recent bounce patch, so he's seen a little bit more play. I actually have fought Goku on the ladder since that bounce patch too, and he did use this Lars against me as well. So he has been playing this monster. It's not just like a super pocket niche pick for SWC.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot better now for folks who maybe haven't used him in a minute. He's pretty solid. Do you have to ban out like the Chow? Is that, or no, you don't apparently. Goku just wants to even the game out.
Yeah, I think Shao is completely fake here, to be completely honest. I mean, first of all, you have Oliver. Like, Oliver just completely solos Chao, because he never takes a turn. The Oliver is therefore banned out, but now you're letting both of the additional damage dealers in that Water Gojo as well as that Light Geralt go through, as well as you do have a defense break come from that Light Geralt, and both of them do have attack bar pushback. When Chao is naturally a slower monster, he's probably going to be getting lapped here at some frequency.
That's a really good point, dude. You might be able to just keep him down instead. Look at that. The Terexon's got the skin on Chao. His whole team looks so small in stature right here. It's very funny compared to everybody else who's super tall on Goku's side. Bella throwing out a few hits, immune to attack bar reduction, but almost taking out the water Gojo already.
Yeah, that's just a brutal power of additional damage. You go into this low HP, high defense monster, and the additional damage will shred right through. But here comes the Whirl. The skill 2. Can we get those defense breaks as well as the pushbacks? We get a decent amount, and I think that might be enough for the Lars to actually or lap this Chao here.
Dude, he's evened out the damage. All of a sudden, Goku's looking really good. That's the thing, dude. Lars, or the Light Geralt is a lot better than he used to be, dude.
Yeah, he really is. Especially, these players that have so good additional damage artifacts. That skill 2 is a triple hit AoE. That's going to be doing a lot of damage on those additional damage artifacts.
That might kill. That's probably kill. Oh, so close. So close to killing.
Ooh, you could get a stun on this Chao. That would be a third debuff. And Chao only cleanses 2 debuffs. There's a chance that stun would not be cleansed, but does not opt to go for that. Now Chao can finish off this Gojo. Misses a crit. We have a sub 100 crit Chao. This does not matter in that instance, but something to note.
Yeah. Did he just miss crit, or did he glance from the Eleanor? That's the question of the day, isn't it? It's always did Eleanor do something? That's always the question.
Right, there's an Eleanor on the field, so it could just be the Eleanor doing Eleanor things. As she has been very effective today. Yeah. So far, the Eleanor team is a member down, but that is a fully stacked Lars that can just keep spinning with that Whirl.
Yeah, this is the new spin to win. He's running, Feng walked so that he could run. That's the idea here. Shiho going in, trying to drain those stacks. Gets one off, only counts for the one because it's a big hit. Wow, she's got a fully stacked burst cannon here. How much damage did that do? Decent. Enough for Chao to probably finish it off with a justice. What? If he crit, but he can't crit. He can't land it.
The violent proc into Whirl. Wait, so Eleanor is in pony form. Therefore, there is no glancing passive, right? And there was no anti-crit. So this Chao is confirmed sub 100 crit rate.
Oh, that's right, Hodge. I didn't even notice.
It is really biting Turkson in the behind right now. Wait, he's giving attack bar. What?
Bro, this is crazy. See, this is interesting because this is like some anti-crit buff propaganda or like Eleanor passive propaganda. Like, I don't know what's going on, but it's working.
It is really working. I mean, Chao, he doesn't crit. What is going on? I'm getting flashbacks to Raigeki in 2024 when he went against Jeff Boladow's Eleanor and the Chao missed every single crit. This is literally a run back of that right now. I don't think it's gonna matter in the end, which is the crazy thing.
Yeah, Chao solos.
No crit still.
No crit. What is going on? What is going on, dude? Oh, wow, this Chao, zero value Chao, and yet somehow
I think this is what. 5 turns, and 0
every
crit
move
so far. Yeah, he has not crit a single time on this Chao. Can we get 1 crit?
One with the glancing on would be crazy if that's the moment when he does it. Yo, whoever for the folks in the back making the highlight reel, can we get a montage of all the missed crits from Chao?
All right, miss crit again. I want to see it. Do it. Yeah.
And that was Eleanor. That was Eleanor cutting in there with the glancing.
That was Eleanor with the glancing. Eleanor going to be transforming back into pony form, getting a little bit of healing. Ooh, a violent proc. That's very good violent proc. So now you can transform back, get that glancing chance once again, and not finishing off the Shiho. Does have the AoE to do so, but that's going to be less damage towards Xiao. Wait, can Xiao actually lose this?
That's a funny question. Miscrit. That was a confirmed miscrit. This is legitimately a psyop from the anti-crit buff. That's what this is.
This is absolutely insane. The Xiao has not crit a single time this entire match. Can he finally do it? He finally gets the crit.
He got the crit.
It's not enough to take out the Nyx.
Can Chao lose from here is the question. In normal situations, it would be impossible.
There it is.
Yeah. There we go. 1-1. Turikson taking it. Almost sabotaged by Chao.
Yeah, almost. I mean, that was definitely on par with Raigeki's performance 2 years ago against Jeff Bolado's Eleanor. That was one for the books as well. I mean, that is definitely a match that I will at least remember for a while. That was a Chao. I think it took 8 turns for him to get 1 crit there, and then it did a crit 2 times in a row there to close out the game. And I mean, still winning with that performance, it just shows how strong Chao was in that draft.
Low-key too, huge respect for just bringing the Lars, the light Geralt. That was a fun monster to watch, and it was cool. It was really cool to watch.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Lars didn't quite do enough. I don't think he got a single violent proc, because Lars really likes those violent procs. When you have at least 3 adrenaline, that is those his specific buff stacks that he has. If at least 3, that whirl is unusable or is usable regardless of the cooldown. So if you get a violent proc, you can literally just spam S2 forever.
I just wanted to shout out, we got Raigeki in the chat as well, and he said, Topa's in my head. Like, he's clearly having flashbacks as well, which is so funny. What's up, guys? What's up, chat?
Yeah, that is great to see there. But we're moving on to game 3 right now, where we're seeing a bit more different of a draft, as that Bella has been put in the pre-ban, and so is that Oliver.
Let's see how he wants to answer back with this. We got the Annabelle. She's back. Just a few seconds left. This has got to be kind of a panic pick. This might not be ideal. Chooses Devaraja, actually.
Ooh, Devaraja. In this position, Devaraja is looking pretty strong. I mean, there's no Eleanor, for starters, on the side of Turikson, as well as no cleansing, and Josephine does not get activated from provokes. It only counters, stun, sleeps, and freezes.
Yeah, it's like what we call the soft crowd control gets around it. And then Tetra, the water mermaid. That's a cool choice to reduce the turns.
Yeah, I do like that Tetra pick. It's probably going to be getting banned, as that Tetra does kind of hard counter the Devaraja here. The Chao is back once again, and there's no Eleanor. Maybe the Eleanor is going to come out in the last pick, but I would have to assume that all the Eleanor juice has been, juiced out of that monster for today, because she has been on an insane glance rate performance.
Oh, a Sonya. That's some cool pressure there at the end. I imagine that's likely going to get banned.
Yeah, I would assume the Sonya gets banned on the Tetra is definitely gone here. So it kind of comes down to this Chao once again. It's kind of Chao against the world. And I don't really like Chao's chances here, given that there is heal from that Annabelle, as well as, consistent defense break. So this Chao is probably just kind of going to get dunked on here. More than likely,
Shiho taking that first turn. Anything that he rips here, it's ultimately going to give it to... Wow. Okay, never mind. Now, I was sure that it was going to activate Josephine, but sometimes you see that with Shiho.
Okay, and Vanessa also activating. That might actually be in Goku's favor, activating that passive from Josephine. And now, has to go for that provoke, because he does need to disrupt this defense break into Devaraja combination that Goku is bringing out here. But Annabelle could still proc to make it through.
Ooh, cute little steal on that counterattack debuff. Vanessa rezzing literally everything. Right now, big defense breaks coming out from the Annabelle too.
Ooh, and Stark resisting all of those. So it seems to be a resist build Stark here. Obviously, Annabelle does usually not have the highest of accuracies, so you do need, resistance of that monster typically, as well as a whole bunch of other stats. So Stark is resisting all of that, and the provoke is still sitting on top of the Devaraja, so he's unable to dish out the provokes himself.
Does Chao want to rip the Justice with no death break? He does. He wants to check that Shiho. He's HP checking the Shiho. And it was actually a pretty significant chunk of that health bar.
Yeah, definitely was. So Chao obviously won't have Justice next turn, but if he gets a skill 1 into a skill 2, Violent Proc, that Shiho will be dropping.
no procs from Goku's side yet, which is really brutal for him because it's like any one of those could have changed the game in the sense of like Annabelle could cleanse and heal, whatever. Devaraja, big damage, dude.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Devaraja has been stacked up a little bit, has been hit a couple times. Chao does not get that button proc to confirm the kill on the Shiho. Josephine, however, does get a proc, so out of the provoke. Nobody's provoked anymore. And the Stark, once again, seems to be under 100 resistance. Doesn't resist the provoke coming out of Devaraja.
Cute. There we go. We got the defense break set up here. Annabelle finally finds a turn where she can throw out that skill 2. And now it's just a matter of dealing with the Chao now that all of his teammates are down. That's definitely, that Shiho is gone, bro.
Yeah, Shiho is gone. Very well gone. But Devaraja does have a reflect damage on his passive as well, which does make him tankier. And Chao, you know, does take some reflect damage. The lower Chao's HP is, the less damage he gets from that passive too.
He's just going to chip away.
Oh, the defense break.
The defense break from Megami? A statistical anomaly right now coming out. And now Devaraja is going to capitalize on that big time.
Yeah, if he procs here, the Chao's dead. No proc, so Chao does still survive. And he kind of maybe wasted Annabelle's skill 3 a little bit there. The Megami already got the defense break. Now there won't be a defense break for a while, so this is Chao's chance, especially with that violent proc. Let's get rid of that Megami.
We're going to feel that this is a really tough spot for Goku here, actually. Let's see if he can proc here. No such luck. The defense break from Annabelle into Devaraja is going to hurt bad.
I think that's game over. Yeah, the Annabelle laps here to Devaraja's skill to 16,000 damage. It is going to be enough, and Goku takes game 3.
Well played from Goku, who is now sitting at match point in this last quarterfinals game. 2-1 against Turixin.
Yeah, I think Goku maybe made some misplays there at the end, but did get that fortunate Annabelle proc, and he kind of doubled down on the defense break when he already had one, and then right there at the end, he actually used the heal before the Devaraja was going to get stunned up. The Devaraja was going to get stunned up, so he could have used that heal then to cleanse up the Devaraja too, but he actually did get that Banner proc, get the defense break to where it did not matter then, as it did just kill.
Might have been just a little hasty, and ultimately Goku takes the win. He's lore accurate Goku right now.
He really is. We'll see if he can close this out here as he's sitting at match point. The players are really taking their time on this stack ban here. Obviously, we already see those 4 monsters, and we're just going to be adding 2 more to that list that cannot be drafted by either player.
They're really thinking about it. Do you throw... Dude, Eleanor, Chao. That's the one. I'm just playing. Vanessa, Annabelle are our pre-bans.
Okay, Vanessa in the pre-ban, obviously Goku does not have his Oliver available, so once get rid of Turksen's 33 speed lead. See the Annabelle in the pre-ban as well, as that, you know, did cause quite a bit of problems for Turksen in the last game.
Goku can take the Shiho if he's so inclined. Oh, instead opts for Ciara.
Yeah, we're going for another speed lead, as the speed leads are running thin. We have 2 of the most popular 33 leads already, you know, pre-banned out. So we're going for Ciara, but Turksen has some LD speed leads. He also does have that Mo Young possibly, if he still has that rune.
Ooh, so that means we might be seeing an all dark comp potential. There is potential, as it were. We could see Han and Wo Young for 2 speed leads.
Yeah, Turksen dipping into his LD box now. He does have a lot of LDs, a lot more than just those 2. And the Eleanor is back.
I love the Eleanor here, actually. This is going to be a thorn in Turksen's side if he's trying to do this high damage comp, which he's presenting here. Oh, the Dark Nezuko being on there as well. That's cool.
Oh, wow, that is kind of looking like a dream team, and the dream dark team on Turksen's side right now. The Dark Nezuko is super nice with all those team-ups. It does lower the cooldowns. Han already has very low cooldowns, and obviously incredible cycling with that skill 3. And obviously, I mean, Gianna, need we even mention this monster? Very strong, even though there is a Nyx.
Yeah, dude, been popular since like day 1. 2017, Ciara Gianna was a thing, which is wild. Bringing the Sonya back to apply some pressure towards the end, threaten that turn 1, only representing 1 speed lead on the side of Goku, though.
Yeah, only 1 speed lead, but I don't think... Well, if this is Swift Gianna, this is really bad for Goku. if it's not a Swift Gianna, there are likely no Swift monsters on Turksen's side, and therefore Goku can still comfortably take the turn 1, even without a speed lead. And it looks like there are no Swift monsters. Turksen is often go for another slower monster in this Ella.
Sonya could be taking that ban yet again. It's just a lot of volatility that you'd rather not deal with.
Yeah, I think Sonya is likely going to be the ban unless Turkson has really built his team to counter Sonya. Obviously, there could be minus wind on all these monsters, or they could even be high defense to be Sonya traps, but that's very unlikely coming out from units like Han and Dark Nezuko. And, I mean, Giannas are often on minus wind, but might not be enough.
So we got speed leads for both, notably only applying to the dark units for Turikson's side here. And we get that full high damage with multiple team-up effects, too, on Turikson's side. That's a very spicy draft, but it's Shiho taking that turn 1 as we expected. Speed lead plus a high base speed unit like that usually results in what we're seeing right now. This would be a good opportunity to stun up the Han. Nice.
Ooh, goes for the Han. I didn't really like the stun up on the Han, as the Nezuko will actually cut in, but the Nyx had a good performance. It did remove the buff and freeze the Nezuko, because if Nezuko gets immunity up, then Sierra is actually helpless. Right now, Sierra actually, since Nezuko doesn't have skills available, it can bomb out the Han, and that's probably going to be game over, honestly.
Yeah, you're right that it was a lot of faith being put into the Nyx, but assuming he does what he wants him to do, is a high value play.
Definitely is. And the bomb does land. Is the damage going to be enough? It's not enough!
Not quite. Oh, just relenting if you're Goku right now, because Ella can heal him up, potentially save him here with that skill 4.
Yep, but that's why he used that skill to turn himself, gets that extra turn, and it gets another, or gets the extra turn, additional turn now from that. So even more healing coming that Han's way, and Han's looking somewhat healthy once again.
He's going to live through this turn cycle, I think. Yeah, he's actually going to get a shot here, unless Eleanor can Eleanor do enough damage to take out the Han? Can she transform, proc, kill? No? Okay.
No way, but that violent proc from the Elo is actually pivotal. If he did not get that skill 1 here, the Han would have dropped. Now he's going to get the attack buff. Obviously cannot team up yet, but the Nezuko will be cleansing it up, giving immunity, and the attack buff will be staying for the team up, as well as the turn after. So this, going for that. Okay, going for the Shiho.
This is going to hurt.
Shiho's going to be gone.
Yeah, this is going to really hurt for Goku right now. That's gone. Here comes the cycling from the Han as well.
Yeah, simple solution. Get rid of that Shiho. The Ella does have... could even refresh the Han, maybe? Does he go for it?
Or does he value the immunity? He goes for the heal, goes for neither.
Okay, just going for that little bit of healing, trying to keep the Han alive. Almost would have liked to see... okay, I guess that CR proc, yeah, the Han would have dropped. His Han might still be falling here. Does Eleanor have additional damage on her? No, but she does have an additional turn.
Dude, that's the moment. That's what you bank for. You gotta take it out here. You gotta take it out, yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely do have to take that out. That is so fortunate for Goku here. And his Sierra proc last turn as well, meaning it does have another bomb up. Well, the bomb damage on the Sierra has been a little bit lackluster.
It's funny that Goku essentially got a second chance at that interaction between Eleanor and Han, because there was a world where he could have gotten that earlier, and then he got presented the opportunity again. Increased cooldown time going out on the Dark Aragorn, who's going to suffer that bomb regardless on his turn.
Yeah, well, the Ella is going to be putting up immunity, so the bomb won't be stunning the Aragorn, as well as some more healing. We saw the CR bombs only doing 13,000 at the start of the match. I think there might be 10 up, 10 down, so it would be doing like 15,000 at this point in the match, but still not going to be enough to take out the Aragorn.
This is still anyone's game, but Goku is in a strong position because of Ciara. Not a lovely time to have a proc either when everyone's on immunity and anti-crit.
Well, that was actually a very crucial proc. It lowers the cooldown of his Nezuko that can now team up. It moves all those buffs, and Ciara's almost going down thanks to that violent proc. And if Ciara... this is kind of a match of who falls first, Aragorn or Ciara.
Yeah, that's really it. You're right. I failed to see that how that skill cooldown time reduction would definitely help out here. But we got the Eleanor to try to bring her back to life. Who can Goku out-sustain the output of Turiksson?
I think, yeah, this is the play here. You just refresh the Nezuko. Nezuko has skill 3 available now. That should... it's actually... I don't think it's going to take up Ciara. No, it doesn't take us there, but with the violent proc, the Sierra is going to go down, and Nezuko plus Ella should win the 2v2 against the Nyx as well as Eleanor. I think at this point, you can let your Aragorn die and still be fine.
Yeah, and Turiksson, the procs don't stop on this side here. He's going back in with... he's just ripping it for damage at this point, which honestly respect, because you're going to lose it regardless here in a second.
I'm not sure you are going to lose it because there's not a whole lot of damage left on Goku's side. Obviously,
I guess you're right.
Does have some decent
everything's gone.
artifacts, but yeah, I mean, the Aragorn has so much health that he is going to be standing the test of time right there. And Turkson evens up. We're going to our first game 5, Evan.
First game 5 of the day is pretty exciting against these guildies. This is what we were talking about. If you know each other's accounts well, if you play against each other often, like, you're going to end up having some fun matches. Like, that last one really could have gone either direction, dude.
Yeah, that was super close. Obviously, it came down to a couple of procs. Both sides definitely had some good procs, fortunate moments right there. I mean, that Han probably should have died. I mean, there's this... Goku is definitely kicking himself for not having just a bit more bomb damage, as that Han could have gone down turn 1.
It's the substats, that bomb damage substat, bro. We all ignore it. It's like, that's what it is. He's missing out on it. Oh, this is the last opportunity in the stack ban. Finally, Eleanor is getting the respect put on her name, and she's landing in the pre-ban alongside Dark Aragorn.
And there we go. We have the full 8 unique monsters in the pre-ban, so these players are going to have to dig quite deep in their boxes. What is left? Because there's, 8 monsters are gone. There's not that many units left, and we see that in the fact that we see a Windstark first pick from Turkson.
Yeah, and this is the maximum. This is as far as the stack ban can get pushed. It's a minimum of 4 and a maximum of 8 monsters, regardless of what number we're climbing to in this best of series. Even in a best of 7, this would still be the max.
Yeah, we see very RGB meta right now. I mean, this was the meta, especially before the balance patch. We saw the Windstark first pick, and that's getting responded with the Megumi as well as the Shiho. And now, obviously, that Josephine seems like pretty high value when you have that many stuns on the opposing side.
Getting the Viva Shell next to the Josephine. What does Goku answer back with? Really considering...
Viva is looking quite nice here. It's probably going to be outslowing that monkey, and if the monkey does miss the stun, could just swap that monster. So Viva Shell is always very volatile with that skill 3, as it can, kind of essentially snipe out a unit for free.
He's going down to the wire on this one, Topa. I mean, this is where you're going to be thinking the most. We got the return of Etna. Haven't seen her in a game in a while, followed by Ella. Now here comes Ragdoll and the Zenisek back again.
Yeah, Zenisek is back, hopefully for a better performance than in the first appearance. I mean, that Ragdoll is looking very strong here, especially in that Efna. And yeah, Goku really took his time there on that last round. I think he's just not that comfortable with having this many monsters in the pre-ban.
It's true. It's tough to pick around after you have 8 monsters down there. I really like what Tarikson's bringing here, dude. The Zenisek Josephine combo into all these stuns is looking phenomenal.
Yeah, it really is. We did see the Josephine get banned out in that game, and the Zenisek was not enough. There's some awkward speed tuning going on there that made it not so effective. And that Sonya last pick, once again, very strong last pick, likely to get banned out.
Yeah, Ragdoll's out. Sonya's not making it into a game. Sonya is really just a way to guarantee that these 4 units are going to get through, at least in this matchup. Because, yeah, that's basically signaling these units are not Sonya-proof.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that everything tanks to Sonya, but you're just going to be left so low. And obviously, something just, a light breeze is going to be taking out that monster. And Goku is going to be fully outspeeding here because it did bring 3 Swift monsters. So F now going to no fire monsters, able to utilize that skill too, and now going for the capture. But 100 res Stark has something to say about that.
I was wondering if you could like kill, but it would be kind of risky because Josephine would cut in and take a turn, and she might deny the Shiho. So I see why he was really considering there.
Yeah, definitely going for that. Now the threat state is going to be there, so Megumi is forced to go on this Stark, giving some more attack power, but does land a defense break. Monkey probably not going to be enough damage, but that's still going to hurt.
Low-key huge for Goku that he's not activating the Josephine passive, by the way. He's actually managing to scrape by doing this without actually giving Josephine that turn early.
Yeah, but look who's coming. Viva Shell is coming, and I see very low attack bars on Goku's side.
You're
so
right.
Something is getting swapped here, and it might be this Ella that just then gets absolutely deleted after.
Oh, and she misses, but that's doesn't really matter for as much as... Oh, he's playing a slower game, opting to instead just heal up the Stark.
I don't really like that because Vivichel sleeps herself and you still have your Josephine passive. So you could actually activate the Josephine passive by utilizing that Vivichel skill 3. And I think you could have been able to take out this Ella. That would get rid of all of the sustain. And the sustain is obviously very strong, especially with those cooldown reductions that this Ella is providing. So I think that's a huge misplay coming from Turkson.
I think you have a great point, dude. Like, when you put it like that, it's really hard to argue with. I think that's probably a misplay for sure. Like, because it was definitely a good moment. I guess he's confident that he could get it again on this round here, because, I mean, her attack bar is really low, but that would have been perfect.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be low enough this time around to do it, because now your Stark is not going to be falling up either, so now you're kind of stuck just skill 1 in this F, now hoping that bomb damage is enough, but that's a Zenisek bomb. It's probably not going to be doing the most damage.
Oh, choosing to do it on Shiho for just 50%. Yeah, definitely low returns on that one, I'd say.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to get the shield from Josephine. Kind of needs the protection. Also, Josephine's skill 1 should be doing more damage than Viva's skill 1. But no, he's not going for that F9. The F9 is surviving.
Comes that skill 2 to cycle back.
Wow, this Max vs. Stark is doing work. However, not taking the defense break means he is surviving and does get the violent proc out. Can he finish off this F9 now?
Through the shield, 5k damage on the HP is enough to do it.
That'll do. And Zenisek with the violent proc. Wow, we can now lock down the Shiho, and this is looking very, very good for Turkson.
Yeah, very well played from Turkson. He played the slow game. I still agree with you. I think maybe he should have ripped that skill 3 earlier. But like, yeah, this is going great for him.
Yeah, ultimately seems like the slower, safer play is going to be rewarded here. Obviously, Goku did have some opportunities to take out that Stark. If he landed a defense break, that Stark goes down, and I think Goku wins this game. So it was quite risky for Turkson to not, confirm that kill on that Ella early on. And now the Josephine passive is finally being activated, but I don't think there's any way you're really killing this Stark anymore at this point.
Now at least if Shiho stuns her, it won't activate the passive because it's not quite back just yet. And
that, I don't think Shiho's going to get a turn.
Oh, he's not even getting it.
It's going to be finished off the Shiho, and now there's 0 damage left on Goku's side, so it's just a matter of time before Turkson cleans this up, and he will be our last player to move on to the semifinals today.
Wow. Yeah, this is the moment. It's probably sinking in for Goku right now. Megami and a Dream ain't going to cut it on this one, unfortunately. He's reaching for the bottom left, I think.
I would hope he's reaching for that, because I mean, this is just a complete waste of time. And there we go. Turkson does take the win. Very well played to him.
Yeah, well done, Turkson, taking it away from Goku 4 there from the Guildie. Again, guys, Goku sent to day 3, which is next week. So today's day 1 of the prelims. We got day 2 tomorrow, and then day 3 is going to be next Saturday, same time, same place for the lower bracket, where we'll get 4 more qualified after that. So we're going to have a lot of folks qualified for the America's Cup by the end of this. We're starting with 16 players. We got to whittle it down. And now things are looking good for Turkson moving forward here. A 3-2 win against Goku, Topa.
Yeah, come from behind right there. Goku was up 2-1. And Turkson does snatch those last 2 games. Very well played in those. Obviously in that game 5, maybe slight misplay with that Vivichel, but that 100 res Stark really paid dividends right there. The F0 accuracy probably going to be lacking, as you just want to be stacking as much speed and damage on that monster. So therefore was not able to get that defense break and confirm the kill.
Oh, are we going to get the montage of Chow? What we'll have to see. We'll see. I've almost forgot that was this set. I think we might get to see that in this one. That'd be really funny. Zenisek performance was cool. I haven't seen Zenisek picked so much in a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen that monster lately at all. Obviously, it's kind of difficult to tune because you kind of need Zenisek to move first, but then you also kind of want this monster to be unviolent. And so I guess ever since the nerf of that skill 1 healing, Zenisek usually just doesn't provide enough value. Usually it's better off kind of picking like an Angela or some other passive cleansing unit.
Yeah, so we saw the 1, we saw the 2. Look at this. Yeah, we're seeing all the missed crits. Oh, dear. And I'm not seeing glancing. Maybe I missed it again. But I do think that some of those are genuinely just missed crits, actually.
Yeah, I think there are just the missed crits right there. Yeah, it's not 100. I mean,
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just missed crits. Oh my goodness, it's painful. Look at this. It's painful.
Raigeki, look away.
Yeah, don't look, Raigeki. Avert your eyes. Don't look. They gave us what we asked for, and it's a montage.
Yeah, that was an incredible game. However, and in this game 3, Goku had a couple of lucky breaks. That Annabelle getting those defense breaks, but I mean Turkson Chow also getting that very nice proc at the end to get rid of that Megami right there. And ultimately, the Devaraja, a lot better performance. That damage came through there.
And you love seeing the pseudo reverse sweep, right? He had 1 point on the board before, but managed to clutch up the last two when he was down. So that shows a lot of resilience. Like, there's definitely some psychological warfare going on behind the scenes here, and like Trixton was able to maintain all that onslaught from Goku. That was really good.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, it is both of these players' first time in SWC, so maybe, you know, some nerves going on there. I think we kind of saw in Goku too, like in that game 4 and game 5, you know, when so many monsters were in that stack ban, he's kind of probably running out of options, and the timer really ran down. And maybe Efna, Ella weren't, you know, the best possible picks in that spot right there.
Improv, as we were saying, right? You know, it's like it heavily rewards improv. And guys, just like that, that's it for the quarterfinals. We're moving to the semis next, and we are doing so with the advent of this coupon code for you. SWC2026 times 10 Legacy BND. There you go. This is the 10th event for SWC. We got 200k mana, some energy, as well as those emblems. You really want to redeem this one because those emblems are super important, and definitely check your event progress too, because you've likely already made some progression into that event, guys. Like I said, quarterfinals are over. We are heading into the semifinals after this short break. We'll see you right back here in a moment. All right, we are through with the quarterfinals, and it's on to the semis from here, guys, at day one of the Americas prelims for SWC 2026. Welcome back, Topa. These have been incredible games so far, my dude.
Yeah, we have some incredible games, a lot of back and forth in some of them, some misplays that may have, decided some games and others where it hasn't mattered so much, but ultimately we have 4 players still remaining, but we only have 2 tickets available today, Evan.
Yeah, so they are going to be fighting for those 2 slots of qualification for the America's Cup again on October 10th in Toronto, Canada. It's going to be real fun. True Whale versus Jiwoo Fan is coming up, and then you can look forward to Koizu versus Terixin in that second match in the semifinals here. All these players are doing so well. Oh, we've seen some crazy stuff today, including 81% crit rate Chow. Is that confirmed, Chad, I think?
Yeah, that Chow is definitely not super high on that crit rate, but either way, moving on to this matchup between True Whale and Jiwoo Fan. True Whale has been waiting for a while now. Obviously, it was our first matchup of the day, but he's back, and that career, once again, it doesn't fit nearly all of his accolades in there.
Yeah, they had to choose just 3 of them, and there's a whole lot more than that for sure. I'm sure he's itching to get back into the game because, like you said, it's been a minute since he's been playing today. As our first game it was, and Jiwoo Fan had a great showing too, up against Jirmo.
Yeah, has not played very many games in his qualifying season of 37. So 0 games against True Whale that season too. So maybe not so familiar with each other. But I mean, at this point, I feel like everyone should know True Whale. But then again, you never really know what he's going to be drafting, as he does have a lot of options.
Yeah, well, here we go, guys. We are wasting no time at all getting into this first semifinals match between True Whale and Jiwoo Fan. As a reminder, we are doing the stack ban today, and that means they have full access to their monster box for this first game, and doing so means True Whale prioritizes the Kovarchi.
Yeah, the Kovarchi, that's a very scary monster to fight against in RTA. It does have a lot of, very good synergies with like attack buff scale, that attack buff, so any attack scaling monsters do very well. But you can also use it in a bruiser heavy lineup because it does have that heal as well as, the immunity and the cooldown reductions.
Oh, dude, the C-Grid tells me that this is going to be a fun game. That's one of those monsters where it's like it just comes along with aggression, so it should be real cool.
Yeah, we'll see. This was actually a team that Stay High drafted against True Whale too in that one match. They did go for the Megumi Sigrid into an El Sharion, and True Whale was able to dismantle that. We'll see if Jiwoo Fan is able to do that better. But True Whale's picked up a Yan Hong. That seems to be his speed contesting unit of choice here.
Interesting. Yeah, True Whale might be kind of doing a pivot just from the perspective of like, I lost to a super fast comp earlier today, so what can I bring against it? Probably gave some thought to how he could have cleaned up that first game from Stay Hive a little easier, and now Jiwoo fully committing to that turn 1. He's going Shiho, going Han.
Yeah, Shiho Han, so double speed. Obviously that Han speed is only for dark monsters, so but that Sigrid is obviously getting very good value from that. The Yanhong does have a 1 base speed advantage on the Shiho, but Jiwoo Fan does have a 4 higher lead to that Fire Megami, and True Whale kind of giving up the speed fight a little bit here, not going for a second speed lead.
And that's a lot of bar that Tian Lang is. Dude, he is licking his lips looking at all that attack bar gain, bro. He's like, ooh, let me get some of that. So I don't know if he's going to make it into this draft, but that'd be crazy.
Yeah, Tianlang looking very strong. Obviously, every time you see a Fire Megami, Tianlang is a pretty good pick, but it does also kind of counter your own Yan Hong, as well as that Kovarchi. Yes, there are a couple of monsters on your side that do have some attack bar increasing skills themselves too.
And is Jiwoo a believer? Because we have seen Tianlang get the opportunity and do nothing with it. So it seems like Jiwoo Fan is not a TL believer. He's like, I'm going to leave it in. I don't think this is going to contribute enough to True Whale's comp. And then on True Whale's side, he bans out the Gandalf.
Yeah, Gandalf has gone no sustain for Jiwoo Fan, and True Whale's biggest source of damage in that Seer, as well as the only speed lead is gone. But now he's sitting here for 48% resistance lead. We'll have to see if Jiwoo Fan's monsters are high accuracy and can they land here.
And can Shiho activate? He does. Oh my god, he's trying to beat the allegations. I think he activated on the first hit.
Ooh, what is not activable? I guess Josephine is activating, but not connecting is that provoke from Josephine. And now Yanhong is getting stunned through 2 buffs. That is quite unfortunate there.
Yo, Jiwoo Fan is cooking right now, dude. Taking the Tian Lang to go, putting the TL in the bag. Now Jiwoo is looking real confident.
Yeah, very strong performance right there. No defense break anymore on True Whale's side as that Tianlang is gone, and this Megumi is freed, so to say, from that Tian line. Once again, another skill 2 is available. Does not connect the stun this time on Yanhong. Yanhong is quite squishy here, so probably looking to do some decent damage. But without defense break, I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Good, yeah, he could try to go for that that strip. I was surprised that he actually didn't try to strip the Shiho, but I suppose you don't need to necessarily here. Kovarchi could boost. There's not so much pressure that Yanhong's in immediate danger right now.
Yeah, goes the boost on the Yanhong. That also lowers the cooldown, so Yanhong now has skill 3 and will have skill 2 available right after. So pumping out even more damage, but in doing so, he's also cycling out of his immunity.
That might be something to be wary of. Nice little proc here from Josephine so she can try to apply some more crowd control to the enemy team. If anything, this might be reinforcing to Jiwoo fan that, like, if I try to bring high aggression into True Whale, I might have a decent chance of success. But Han is hanging on for just dear life there, Topa.
Oh man, that is such an unfortunate miss from Josephine. Once again, it missed on the Han turn 1, now he misses on that Monkey, and Monkey does have skill 2 available, so Yanhong is basically getting deleted off the battlefield due to that Josephine miss right there. Now True Will is at a 2-3 deficit. He does take out the Han, but this is still a very uphill battle for him.
Oh yeah, and all he's got is stuff to activate Josephine's passive. Of course, that relies on it being online to begin with.
Yeah, Josephine's passive is not available, and now he's going to be getting lapped here. And that skill 3 is available on Secret, and this is going to be game over.
Jiwoo taking that first point kind of in a similar fashion to how Stay Hive was able to take the game off True Whale in the beginning here too. So Topa, if you're in Jiwoo's shoes here, are you now thinking I'm going to try to continue that, bring high aggression stuff, because that seems to be the little area where I can get through to True Whale?
Yeah, that seemed to be the way to kind of counter True Whale. He hasn't really found the answer. He did bring that Yanhong now, but he still did not fully commit to that speed draft. So he was susceptible to getting outsped and kind of just, I mean, that Tianlang fell immediately. And Jiwoo fan was in control that entire game there.
Now in the pre-ban, we got Shiho down there, and we got Tianlang. Jiwoo doesn't want to have to dance around that TL anymore.
Yeah, no surprise seeing that Tianlang there, and obviously True Whale is going to be picking up pieces from that Jiwoo fan draft, that game 1 as well, and he's actually switching it up, going for an Oliver first pick as opposed to a Fire Megumi now.
Yeah, Oliver getting slammed down. True Whale considering where to go from here, because what's great about the Oliver is it could pivot into anything. It doesn't have to be high aggression. True Whale opting to just take that draft from Jiwoo.
Okay, yeah, True Whale does have these monsters available as well. So he's just literally taking the first 2 picks. What is Jiwoo fan going to respond to this? He does have both the LD Oracles that could come out to play here, but he's opting to go for an Annabelle, very strong pick, as well as Sekhmet, so still does have a speed threat up his sleeve.
Let's see how he wants to approach this. Does he commit even harder? Oh, he's going to... well, there's Elsharion. I suppose it's got that high damage, but there's nothing to steal currently aside from maybe some will in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, Elsharion and Sigurd is a pretty nice combo that a lot of players do utilize. We saw Stay Hive try to... I mean, what is going on? True Whale is literally just taking Jiwoo fan's draft. We even have the Han being taken here. I mean, he is just, you know, he said, yeah, I see you. I can do that too. That is incredible stuff.
An immense amount of team theft that we're seeing. I don't know if we've seen this amount of team theft today.
Yeah, Josephine being drafted from Jiwoo fan, I don't like that pick, and he does take it back. Not going with Josephine. I would like to see maybe something like a Parjanya would be very strong. Does have that revive passive, and there's no immunity on the side of True Whale or any wind launches or any cleanse, so Parjanya would do a lot. Obviously, Gianna is pretty vulnerable just being sniped out here. The Belio maybe has some protection against that, though.
And now it's all on True Whale for this 5th pick. What does he think is going to be the highest value option for him to actually cement this pseudo cleave?
Yeah, I wouldn't... he probably needs some sort of, you know, threat still. He's going for a Vivichel here, so a bit in between here. Obviously, you know, could have that swap in case Sekhmet misses or forcing the Sekhmet to target that Vivichel. But then also it does have a, you know, backup heal as well on that skill too. So bans are likely... I mean, that Sekhmet is still very dangerous, but he could just be looking at ban out that Gianna, not let that chance come through.
Speed leads are out here. Let's see how this works out for True Whale. It's kind of been a tough one for him to fight, but let's see if he's actually able to appropriate it for his side.
Yeah, Elsharion might still take turn 1 here. No, Sekhmet is... Wait, there's no shield runes with Elsharion. Wait, this is a violent Elsharion. Even that Annabelle is outspeeding it, so the Sekhmet does land, and Vivichel is now out for, with no skills available.
Now Megumi can cut in here and do a little stun on the Oliver to keep him from doing any hijinks. Annabelle's going to essentially pass. And now does he value the damage, or does he want to secure some immunity for himself?
Yes, interesting choice. I would go for the damage since the Han actually moves after the Elsharian. So Truewell agrees here, just deleting one monster right now. And that's a pretty good position to be in.
And what an important monster to do away with, because that means you're mostly going to be unaffected as long as you can just control that Sekhmet's third skill.
Yeah, obviously Annabelle third skill is also very, very strong here. Sekhmet with that skill too, going to be providing a lot of debuffs here now. But nothing too important landing on that Han. No glancing or defense break landing true there.
And notably, that is it for for the buffs that Elsharion can grab. There's nothing that's going to get reapplied here, which is interesting. He's not looking to activate the Abelio's passive while he's got those defense breaks out. This is very well played here from Truewell.
Yeah, kind of dancing around that passive. Does Han have enough damage to one-shot this Sekhmet here? Probably not, but if he does get a defense break, that is going to be probably 2 dead monsters even.
Oh, he decided to go for it. There was kind of that other option where he could have just attacked Abelio and basically passed the turn, and he didn't want to do that. A huge plays here coming out. Now defense breaks are set up. Slows are out too. That's going to be really heavy for Truewell.
Yeah, we see the impact of that slow that Abelio is actually moving from, but the Megumi gets a stun, but the Abelio also responds back with a proc that is a dead Han, and we are looking a bit more even than just a second ago, as now we're 3 monsters apiece. Vigil does have cleanse available, but they're just going to be putting out immunity, which is going to be one more debuff per second with the skill, then for lowering that cooldown of that skill 3.
True, and now instead of dictating the pace of the game, it looks like Truewell is kind of fighting for survival all of a sudden, because as this continues, Abelio's chance of soloing gets stronger and stronger.
Yeah, Elsharian does have good damage as well as the defense break. Oh, he's unable to steal the immunity. That's very bad. Abelio passive is going to be activated once again here. And the violent proc, that is going to be end of Vivichel right now. No heal from Annabelle yet.
No way. No way. When you're getting kicked while you're down the sleep on Elsharion, oh, you hate to see it. That's a message, Topa.
Wow. I mean, I didn't want to say, I did say that Annabelle doesn't have sleep available unless, or heal available unless she gets that sleep, and then the sleep comes through even without the caster curse.
I held my tongue too, dude. I was like, I didn't want to say anything until after she moved, just in case. Oh, this is brutal for him right now.
Yeah, the team composition not working out for Truewell. It looked good for him at the start. He got that early kill on Oliver, but the debuffs were just too backbreaking, the slow as well as the defense breaks. And Jiwoo Fan finds himself at the match point already.
Yo, Jiwoo is doing great for himself today. This is amazing. Getting 2-0 lead on Truewell early. This is going to be tough. This is now Truewell's really got to make it happen here. Otherwise, he is out and going to day 3.
Yeah, he really does have to make it happen. I mean, he cannot afford to lose even a single game anymore if he wants to secure his ticket today. I mean, Jiwoo Fan is playing very, very well today. We'll see what the pre-bans are going to be coming out here. I mean, Truewell maybe just going to be pre-banning a, Sacred or something like that. Doesn't want Jiwoo Fan to get that combo.
Jiwoo is looking unaffected by new tournament nerves, as it were, because it can be tough. Even when you're not on a physical stage, like you mentioned, Topa, it's hard to play in a tournament setting like this.
Yeah, it really is. We see the Annabelle. I mean, the Annabelle has been kind of a staple monster. We saw just how effective that the 3-turn defense break as well as the 2-turn slows allowed the Abelio to move and get rid of that Han very comfortably. But right now, the Annabelle is gone and Truewell is sitting with first pick. We'll see what direction does he want to take this draft.
Yeah, what is that magic combo of monsters? It's probably not going to be a team steal, like as we saw. I think, yeah, just bring your own brand of aggression is the way to go. Because I get the methodology of taking the entire enemy team, but usually when you do that, it's not what you want to be playing. You're just picking it so they don't.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see this Kvarcha pick come back, and obviously that Shiho is in the stack ban, so Jiwoo Fan won't be able to run the exact same draft of that team one, although Truewell won't have Yanhong available, so he can't run that draft either. We'll see how he pivots now to deal with this. And notably, we still haven't seen a light fern from anybody today, from anybody who has it, right? So, like, we know that it was pre-banned against Truewell, but that's not necessarily confirmation he has one.
but we'll have to see.
Wow. I mean, this is literally the 4 monsters that True World drafted in the last draft. So I guess we go for Abelio here. Abelio.
Yeah, right.
This and...
yeah. As history would imply, we go Abelio right now.
Yeah, I really would like to see. Okay, this demon is, I mean, obviously, if you have that premium pick, that's a pretty nice pick. I still really like a Parjana here. I think it would do very, very well for True Well.
That's a good call. We're getting down to the wire here. This is kind of going to be more of a panic pick than anything else. Chooses a Hagang.
Yeah, Hagang obviously pairs pretty well with that Kovarchi. That Sonya last pick is looking very devastating. Probably has to be banned out. Or maybe True Well is tanky enough and Sonya proof to where he could just ban out that Sigrid to get rid of the attack buff.
Not a bad thought at all, dude. Yeah, getting rid of Sigrid is kind of popular these days. We saw it banned out in the last game as well against True Whale. So we'll see what he values here. And if you're Jiwoo fan, what do you get rid of? It's got to be the Dark Demon. Yeah.
Yeah, no surprise seeing that Dark Demon gone. Jiwoo fan will be likely taking turn 1 here. True Whale does have the higher speed lead, but that base speed differential on that Sonya is so much. We'll see. Is True Whale Sonya proof here?
My god, not exactly Sonya proof.
Yeah, he's not Sonya proof there, and now Hagang with an attack buff Oki, True Whale can still win this one. Unfortunately, Mega Misumi cutting in here and does take away that attack buff, so Okeanos loses a significant chunk of damage to that.
Wow, but a full stuns is putting him in a good position too.
Yeah, full stun is looking very good. Han does get a proc up, but with that glancing it, not doing a whole lot of damage. I think we just need to cycle turns in this Okeanos. We need that skill 3 up once again. Just skill 2 Okeanos, and we're looking not too bad, honestly, in True Whale's position.
Oh, he gives it to himself. It's all on Oki right now. It's a tough call for sure.
Yeah, I would have liked to see that go into Okeanos. Ooh, that's a very huge stun on the Han, however. And also, Hagang doing some decent damage. That was a 5.3k hit for skill 1. Obviously, getting that crit does help.
Yeah, this is definitely a tough position. Credit where it's due for True Whale, even though that Oliver wasn't Sonya proof. It was tanky, I will say. Devastating stun on the Okeanos, followed by a proc here to set up that defense break. This could, yeah, he's really low, Topa.
Yeah, that's hurting. Does get the pushback on the Elsharian, so Okeanos is still staying alive. I think you almost have to just give that... Oh, I was going to say you have the S2 to Okeanos and hope you proc out so you can get your skills. But he went for the skill 3, and he does actually get the proc out. But now there are no skills since we didn't skill 2 the Okeanos earlier. Oh, this is so painful.
That's what we were all hoping for, dude. It's always been everything Oki. Oki is the way out of this situation. So it's a shame to see that didn't happen. Megami is proccing like a fiend. Doesn't matter. The Elsharion's going to take it down, and just like that, all of True Whale's hope for winning this game.
Wow, Jiwoo fan for a clean 3-0 victory. I think True Whale did make a couple misplays in that game right there. The Okeanos could have carried him through. I don't know why he was so adamant on, that Kovarchi right there. The attack buff is not going to be providing him nearly as much value as the Okeanos is the only one that really gets value out of the attack buff in the first place.
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit more thought into the offense. I think he was playing extremely defensively. Just play a little bit more aggressive, and I think it could have had a different solution, especially when it's like you hate to see it, right? The Oki did get that proc that he would have needed in that round there. Super well played by Jiwoo Fin. 3-0ing True Whale, folks, is not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy, but Jiwoo fan made it look quite easy, to be honest. He was in control. Well, maybe that game too, there was a slight moment where True Whale, did draw the first blood, so he did have maybe an upper hand there. But yeah, True Whale also did get quite unlucky in this first game with that Josephine. So Jiwoo fan did get his fair share of RNG, but very, very well played to him overall.
Yeah, dude, this is, oh my goodness, a really interesting set. Here's what we kind of were talking about before, right? It's like, stealing the team can only really, it's not exactly what you want to be playing. You just don't want your enemy to pick it, is sometimes the problem there.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, True Whale did kind of make it work, but ultimately this wasn't enough. The second med did make the Viva quite useless, and then the defense breaks, not having good enough of an answer against that was kind of what sealed the deal there.
Yeah, tanky Oliver, I will say that was I think he probably was believing in his unit's ability to just survive, but the tuning between the Sonya and the Elsha were just it was so tight that there was no room for his team to move after.
Yeah, the thing is that Jiwufan actually runs this with a Swift Elsharion, which is what I expected out of Truevel as well. But Truevel used a Violent Elsharion in his version that may have, made a slight difference in his ability to fight for speed as well. If you had a Swift Elsharion, you probably would have outsped the Sekhmet, because Elsharion gains massive amounts of speed from having all of those buffs.
That's a very good point. Yeah, well played from everybody involved. Jiwufan, dude, I'm a believer. And man, like that, with a 3-0 against True Whale, he becomes our first qualified for the America's Cup on October 10th.
Yeah, there it is. We still have 7 more slots to fill out for the America's Cup, and we'll be filling out one more of those today, obviously tomorrow, 2 more, and next Saturday for day 3, the final 4 slots will be given out.
Yeah, there we go. And guys, we still have one more semifinals game ahead of us. We have another slot for qualification in the America's Cup. Koizu versus Turixin is coming up next, Topa.
Yeah, Koizu versus Turixin. It's going to be interesting to see. Koizu had, the 3-0 against Zetters. Very convincing victory there. Although Zetters didn't get much going RNG-wise in those matches. So we'll see if Turixin can maybe put a dent in Koizu's armor here.
Yeah, we know Koizu's got a lot of fans in chat, as well as all over the place too. This is going to be a tough one too. Hey, we actually saw him take that Annabelle Nikki. A lot of people say they want the buff for Nikki, but having that redundancy for the skill too is really helpful.
Yeah, it definitely worked out there. He was able to utilize that Annabelle skill 2 earlier, just, to top off his team. He still had the backup heal and cleanse coming from the Nikki skill 2. And Turksan, I kind of want to see this aggressive playstyle continuing from him, but he's kind of dipped down to that Vanessa Bella playstyle a bit more.
All right, here we go, everybody. We're heading into our last match of the day, the second of the semifinals. We have 1 slot left for qualification at the America's Cup. Will it be Koizu or will it be Turixin? We're about to find out.
Yes, Turksan has first pick. Once again, we are playing in the stack ban mode. That means there are no pre-bans for this first game, so anything goes. And this is, where if you have that one oppressive LD, definitely do want to be drafting, as that is likely to be in the pre-ban starting from game 2.
See our Yanhong for Koizu starting it off here against that Vanessa. We don't have a matched up speed lead or anything like that for Koizu yet. We'll see if Turixin wants to double down here. Takes hyper aggression in the form of Shiho and Bella.
Well, we're kind of going back in time a little bit. We're seeing quite a few we're seeing a couple of Yanhongs today, especially the CR Yanhong combination was very strong a couple of years ago. Not so played anymore, but we'll see what Koizu can do with it as he brings back the Eleanor that worked so well for him against Zed.
I'm a believer. I'm legitimately a believer. This whole draft is very 2019, actually, now that you say it. It's like going back in time. It's just very old school. And I'm very much digging it, dude. Eleanor's passive was a shining light earlier today. We'll see if she can repeat that going into Turixin here.
Yeah, it's definitely a change of pace here. I expected a draft like this to maybe show up, later after we've already gotten a few bans out the way. But no, this is the first match when everything is available. This is what the players choose to go with. And we see a Diana last pick. Okay, Diana is definitely kind of a victim to Bella. So I think Koizu is kind of angling to ban out this Bella here.
Dude, we broke into the stables for this one. The horses are out. They are out to play, dude. Instead, it's actually the speed lead that gets banned. Turixin wanting to guarantee that he starts this game and stays far ahead of Koizu.
Yeah, I'm not surprised the CR is getting banned out here, although you kind of see the CR is the proper ban if your Vanessa is getting banned out, because then you could be getting outsped and you lose your Bella tournament anyways. But now the Bella is banned, which kind of is what I expected, of course, to be banning out. I think the Dyna ban would be better, as you're still probably going to be winning that speed fight, and the Dyna is going to be so much more tankier and harder to kill.
The res there stinks, because now there's a defense break set up on that Yanhong. She's in a tough spot here. I don't know if there's going to be enough damage from Turixin this early to take it out, but let's find out.
There's no way Stark without any sort of damage on the team. He's not going to be doing enough, but it does get a provoke on the Diana, so it does keep that thing down. However, Eleanor is going to be able to cleanse and provide some healing on the Yanhong.
Basically, Turixin is just trying to buy time here and not lose that Shiho to the Diana. The Diana is primed and ready to take down that monkey as soon as she can.
Yeah, it really is. And now he's off to go for that Diana. Does not want to give it any of that free attack bar. Knowing the Yanhong heal will top her off anyway, so it's kind of pointless targeting that monster. And he's just going to give that turn to the Diana. Diana is going to be transforming, and we're probably going to be going right into Shiho. That's get a relatively early buffer move, but no dots are landing.
No extra damage for the Shiho at all. And here comes Rakuni to help reduce or help increase that HP a little bit more. Gives the turn over to him so he can try to get a stun, and only one on Josephine of all people.
Yikes. Yeah, the Dyna actually got caught in the human form. The Rakuni cut in. Got that very nice boost on the Shiho right there, but I mean, the Shiho is absolutely throwing. Only stun the one monster that you do not want to be stunning, and now taking stun itself.
Yeah, to be fair, this is not exactly the position Shiho wants to be in. Up against the Eleanor passive, the Diana, this is looking pretty rough for him. Like, Turkson is hanging on, but he's actually in a really precarious situation.
He definitely is, and that Vanessa now glanced on that skill too as well, so no Diva's break on top of that Diana. This was maybe an opportunity. No, the Stark actually doesn't even move from the Eleanor, so Eleanor would have cleansed anyways, not mattering a whole lot in the end, and Koizo's looking very, very good in this match right now.
He is. Notably, he's not going for those stuns on the Shiho. He knows they're just gonna, there's a chance they could get cleansed up. It could get removed. He just wants to get the guaranteed crit on the Stark where he can.
Yeah, it's actually, Koizo's going for the provokes here. He's got two two-turn provokes out right now. The Stark does have threat state, so the Dyna is forced to go there. Does get the unfortunate violent proc here, and already had a full attack press, so cannot take the additional turn after transforming here now.
It's been a long time since I've seen one of those, Topa. Like one of those back-to-back Diana proc fests. It's been a while.
Yeah, I know that is definitely back to 2019 when we saw Alicia's Diana do that. It has been a minute since that has been the case, and now that Turks' team is getting a bit low, so Stark's passive is ramping here, and this Diana is looking a bit vulnerable.
And this would be the moment to get that stun on the Stark. He's about to take the turn. Nicely done from the Josephine.
Yeah, very clutch stun coming from that Josephine. That may have even saved the Diana here, as that Stark, you know, does have that damage amp on the passive. I believe Yanhong does have heal available. It's looking very bad for Turkson.
So this is a brave move, going for the kill here, knowing it comes back with the attack buff. You got to get through it eventually here, but I like this instead of going for the shields. It's very cute, very aggressive.
Yeah, well, it's definitely the correct play since you do have this heal available, so you can actually transform back and you can get rid of that Stark before it can do anything with that attack buff. And at this point, I mean, Turkson is kind of without answer against this Diana. I don't think a Shiho, well, you can maybe boost up the Shiho to stun this Diana. We go for round 2. Can we get it this time? This is the only chance, and does not get it.
Nope, that's a tough ask. I mean, he did technically get everything he needed to make that happen, but not quite enough. So yeah, this is actually looking like a dub for Koizu. Koizu fans in chat are probably popping off right now. Also, this Diana is going for the world record on most missed dots, I think. I don't think she's landed one.
Yeah, that's a good point. I almost forgot that she got buffed to apply those dots even when she's not removing any beneficial effects. But once again, I mean, those dots don't matter. Another transformation coming through, and okay, you said it. There are the dots now. 2 dots obviously don't matter, as that straight up just removes the Shiho from the field. They simply transform back, and now there's 0 damage on the side of Turkson. Does have Vanessa revive potentially, but anything that's going to be revived is just going to be removed immediately after.
I could, yeah, this is, I was about to say, this could be a reasonable concede moment here. I think even before the Shiho went down, 1-0 in favor of Koizu off the start here. Extremely well played, dipping into the stables, grabbing all the horses and bringing them out to pasture.
Yeah, Turkson, you know, he kind of made the ban on that Sierra, but expecting that, like, you know, his Vanessa would be getting banned out, or fearing that his Vanessa would be getting banned out. I think that was more of a fear ban on that Sierra, as opposed to, you know, more rational ban that probably would have had to be in that Diana. The Diana didn't even get any meaningful additional turns. That Diana could have done a lot more work there.
Yeah, you're right about that. The keyword valuable is really important there, right? Because she hindered herself by getting the additional turn that would have denied her from getting the chain, which kind of stinks. But still just an amazing choice there. They got phenomenal value regardless. Here comes that Oliver, something we're much more expecting in that first pick slot.
Yeah, especially once that Yanhong is in the pre-ban, maybe, you know, that Sierra Yanhong combination is kind of broken, but I mean, Sierra Oliver combination is pretty good too. We have a Legolas here making a return as well to get those, you know, get that beneficial effects removed and set up to Oliver.
Now he's going for the Fellowship, from the horses to the Fellowship. Now, Legolas is a fun answer to the Windstark, bringing high damage and attack bar absorption. This is pretty cool.
Ooh, we're seeing the Ella Irene combination. This combination can be very strong as the Irene can put up threat stay on the Ella. Therefore, you get the totem, so you lower cooldowns, and then you get more backs, and then you get more threat stay. And this can be kind of an infinite combo against slower paced teams. But Koizo's team is pretty fast paced right now, especially with the 33 speed lead coming out of the Oliver.
That is like the combo, because people used to talk about like Gani Hathor with ventilate targets, right? Ella and Irene is kind of the new school version of that old school combo. Ciara Shizuka is fun here too, because that means that you can apply the reflect harmful effects, you can apply bombs, anything. Also attack and speed buff from the Legless.
Yeah, Shizuka is also very good because you can steal that threat stay that the Irene applies. So I think the Shizuka kind of has to be a force ban at this point. There's actually only one buff remover on Koizo's side, and it's going to be that Legolas. So actually, Turkcen is opting to go for that Legolas. Well, Shizuka does have buff removal on that skill one, but it's likely not even going to be tuned. So this is actually looking pretty good for opener for Turkcen. We'll see if he can capitalize on that.
Here we go, guys. 1-0 in favor of Koizu right now. No one at match point. Let's see how this goes. She can bag somebody if she wants to.
I think the Shizuka should be put in the bag. Oh, but does not get the attack part. That's a pretty bad miss. As the moment that the Shizuka's going to be coming out of the bag, she's going to take that turn immediately, and is therefore going to be able to put up immunity.
Yeah, you hate to see that. That's Irene owners everywhere are relenting, because I'm sure that's everybody can identify with that. Whole team stunned from Gianna. Nice proc from the Aragorn to increase cooldown times on all but the Irene.
Yeah, getting that proc there is very nice. Obviously, Irene does have that meter, so it's protected there. Can put this threat state on somebody, and it's actually gonna go just for itself. And now Shizuka is moving right after. All things nature is coming through, and this is not looking good for Turkcen at all.
This is the reason, right, that we love the Shizuka here, because that third skill is just as insane as it was during her introductory year. Like, look at this, dude. And that bomb is actually getting to a point where it could actually clean up the kill, even just based on Shizuka's attack. Oh, wow, Gianna goes down.
Ooh, but that is going to be more damage for the Stark. This is a resist Stark, though, so it's not going to be enough to take out anything. We really need to kill that Ciara, because there's an attack buff bomb coming, and that's going to be another dead monster, like the Stark here.
Some of that might have been the reduced damage from the threat state that just saved that Ciara. That's crazy. And here comes a bomb pop, stunning Stark. Well, he's actually, I think, in dot range there, Topa.
Yeah, he should be. I mean, he also has, Koizo also has the rest of his team still moving in front of that Stark, so can definitely confirm that kill there. As the provoked Aragorn will do, and Koizo is taking a 2-0 lead. He has not dropped the game yet.
Koizu is playing out of his mind today. Like the new blood of SWC is popping off, Topa.
Yeah, maybe we'll see all newcomers in our America's Cup. That would be quite the feat. As right now, obviously we had Jiwoo Fan already qualified. That is a newcomer, and one of these two players that is going to be making through. It is also their first appearance in the tournament.
Pretty crazy, yeah. Between him and Jiwoo Fan doing great work today. This is pretty amazing. I was also impressed with Turkcen's performance too. Losing 3-0 to Koizu would be wild and difficult, but like I'm still impressed with his performance regardless of what happens in this game here. And this game is very important, chat, because now Koizu is sitting at match point in our last game of the day.
Yeah, that he is. Turkcen does have the first pick, but his Gianna is now in the pre-ban as well. He's still going for that Vanessa. The Bella combination is not available for him either, so I would like to see him maybe switch it up a little bit here.
Ciara has been doing great work for Koizu, so I'm glad it's making a return. Here comes the Josephine, though we know there's nothing here that stuns yet, but he's confident that there will be.
Yeah, that is a very early Josephine. I feel like if you're Turkcen, you could maybe just swing into some sort of bruiser team, which we are doing right now. The Stark is looking pretty good. Obviously, the provokes don't activate that Josephine passive, but maybe Koizu actually wants Turkcen to go in this position, as now he has that Fire Legolas coming back once again with that Dark Aragorn.
Could be sort of a 4D chess sort of situation. The early Josephine gets him not to pick stuns to play right into his hands. That could be what it is. But yeah, this Josephine's going to be getting zero value except for off this Layla, who's traditionally ruined on Despair.
Yeah, but Layla does also have Cleanse Block, so it does somewhat counter the Josephine, but he takes it back and going for the Han as well as that Nezuko. That did work out well for him against Goku, so I do like those two last picks.
Me too. Yeah, this is aggressive. This is bruiser compatible. This is a lot. And Eleanor making it back. She is a contender for MVP of the day.
Yeah, does soak up the ban here. I think I would have preferred the bans to be on that Legolas still. I feel like you can kind of get through that Eleanor, and if you ban Legolas, you kill CR, you kind of just win the game at that point. But I do understand the ban on the Eleanor, especially, you know, the performance that she has had today.
It'd also be easy to say like, oh, Josephine's a dead pick here, but we don't want to underestimate the power of a guaranteed crit skill 1 with stun attached to it. So we'll see how this ends up going for Koizu here. But Terixon's got some tempo right now.
Man, I mean, Koizu is kind of sun running here too, just not getting defense broken there too. It's very nice that he does not have any heals on his side, so any damage that CR takes will be permanent, and not getting defense broken there is a good start for him.
Yeah, he's on a clock. It's all just like, oh, and there's the stun. That's the one activator on that team, basically. For just
there's also the sleeve into the violent proc. Oh my god.
Oh, this could be this could be a kill.
Surely we're swapping here. Okay,
surely,
right?
Right?
Josephine instead of Sierra. Okay.
I mean, the value, dude. Just the sheer value of getting it from 100% is amazing. And look, he's not in a rush. He's like, there's nothing that heals over there. I can get to that later.
Yeah, definitely does not want to wake up that Josephine as that is a very tanky shield sitting on top of it. That is an MVP moment right there from that Vivichel. And the insane sleep into the violent proc. But this Legolas is going to be cooking here. And why would I like to see him in that ban?
Now he's debating ripping the skill 3. I think you do. Yeah. Here we go. Oathbreakers comes out. Gets it on all possible targets.
Yeah, Turkson knows that he does not need to take out that Josephine. Does have Vanguard duties here to finish that job off. And he is looking pretty good, all thanks to that Vivichel violent proc there.
Yeah. This might be taking us to a game 4, essentially, for this one. Because, yeah, Turkson did a good job drafting against what he's bringing. Unless Legolas wants to, like, seriously pop off here, it is possible, especially with the team up from Aragorn here.
Yeah, Casino Legolas definitely can still do this. The team up from Aragorn will team up with this Legolas.
Yeah.
And that is a defense break. Oh my god, the damage is there.
Yes! Wow, that's crazy output from these
but
two.
it's not enough.
Not enough, dude. Low roll. He got the low roll from the Legolas. Oh, wait a minute. If he aims this right, I think... Yeah. Oh,
well, he has to bomb the star because of the threat state, so therefore he doesn't want to use the bomb. Goes to absorb. Aragorn gets the kill on that star, gets the violent proc, but it's not enough to finish the Nezuko. And the Stark... Actually, no, I think Legolas outspeeds the Stark to that speed, but he gets stunned by the Despair
Wait, it's a Despair Vanessa? What the... Dude?
Wow, what a stun right there. That is insane. Legolas does still have a potential to violent proc out. He does not proc out, however. So Stark can finish off his CR here. And Vivichel does have heals available.
These twists and turns are driving me crazy, bro. Is this all... Was this Legolas's fault? Another stun, dog. Another.
And a violent proc. All right, back it up. Game's over. Jason definitely is going to be taking this match. Yeah, that is going to be confirming
Put the Legolas
kill
in the bag.
on this Legolas. And we are going to a game 4. Not so easy for Koiso. He is going to have to work for it a bit harder.
Love that energy, dude. Yeah, Terixon has actually, he's been in this position before today. Actually, he did this against Goku in a manner of speaking, right? Like there is absolutely the potential for a reverse sweep here. Man, that Legolas did Koizu dirty though.
Yeah, the Legolas got that one nice proc, but then, you know, it didn't quite finish off that Stark. It very low rolled right at the end there. And that Stark, you know, ultimately had enough damage for Terixon to bring that home alongside, you know, a couple fortunate stuns from that Vanessa.
You know, there were a lot more activators for Josephine than I gave credit to.
Yeah, you know it's interesting that Terixon was playing Vanessa all day against Goku, and I don't think we saw a single stun from the Vanessa. So those Vanessa stuns were maybe a bit overdue for him, as he has not landed a single one of them. But now, you know, getting very clutch on that, maybe he even won him that game right there.
Yeah, no kidding, because I was actually going to ask you. I was like, did we know that? I don't think we knew that. I had no clue that Vanessa was going to be stunning. I mean, it at least surprised me. If we knew, I had forgotten. And of course, it's logical that Vivichel, after that performance, shows up in the pre-ban.
Yeah, Koiso did draft very well in that last game too, but yeah, that Vivichel proc, the Vanessa stun, you know, Terixon definitely got his fair share of RNG to win that out there. But Koiso, respecting that Vanessa, now just stealing it away, as Terixon did pre-ban the CR2, so the speed leads are getting thin.
Yeah, it's it's the great equalizer, as it were. You know, proc here, Despair stun there. Oh, and the Legolas. Now, there's a lot of fire here, so Terixon could try to try to go water and do a little elemental diversity just for the rock, paper, scissors of it. But like, yeah, this is a good setup for Koizu.
Yeah, something alongside like Annabelle, I think would be great here. There's no immunity, no cleanse. And I mean, I want to shout out my boy Pargiana once again. Where is he at? You know, the provokes, doesn't care about Josephine, can still get that card control, but he's opting to go for a Velasca. We have not seen this monster yet today.
You've been calling for that Parjanya all day, and I'm waiting for somebody to just have. Oh my God! Don't. No.
There it is. The Parjanya.
No way. Eu não acredito, chat. No way, dude. Did Koizu hear you right now from the ether?
Yeah, Koizu bringing out the Parjana. It's not as good on his side as it would have been on Turk's side. As obviously there's that wind monster in the Stark, so he actually takes it away. I do like the Annabelle pick better here. You know, it's a bit more passive. Does give you heals. You know, obviously good counter against the Velasca, and what is also a good counter against the Velasca is this Gandalf. Obviously has very thick shields as well as the reflect damage. So Chow looking to ignore all of that as Turk's last picks that monster.
Yeah, that was a fun moment. The Annabelle's great here. Velasca is such a spicy monster too, dude. Like I love seeing this monster picked, even just kind of raw picked like this without an enabler, like, you know, the light robo and a cleave. But this is really cool.
Yeah, there's definitely some highlight moments for this Velasca as well. There is sustain on the side of Koizu, so I'm not sure how effective this Velasca pick will exactly be. And I suppose you kind of had to activate those activate Josephine passive as well, because you kind of need to control this Legolas here.
And he is certainly going to try. Windstark doing everything he can without any stacks, and it's not a lot.
Yeah, it really isn't a lot. This Annabelle does send a skill 3, so it is going to be giving that turn to this Megumi, and it can now look to stun this Legolas, which it does, but that in doing so, it is going to be activating Josephine passive.
Now, do you pile into this Megumi here? You stun up the Stark instead, and try to work on something else so Rakuni doesn't cleanse it.
Yeah, the slow on the Rakuni is going to be very valuable. I think you just want to be S1ing the Legolas here, trying to get the attack bar absorbed, which he does do. And now all these very low impact skills are definitely going to be going in this Megumi to not give it that attack bar.
Terixon's built this team that is all about building. So we're going to see this grow more powerful over the course of the game, right? Windstark is aiming to get more damage as his allies take damage. Velasca is similarly going to get stacked up in the background as damage is dealt, monsters are taken down. Huge defense break opportunity here on the Megami. You can kind of file in here. It's just kind of mid from the Legolas.
Yeah, only 2 hits, so low roll in there. We also see Koizu is running a Despair Vanessa too. Did get a Despair stun there on that Megami to deny that turn. Velasca is not fully stacked in, probably doesn't really want to be utilizing that skill 2 right now when there's a shield as well as a revenge debuff on this Josephine.
You're right about that, dude. Yeah, she would get minimum amounts of value from ripping that right now. So let's see what Legolas can do. No defense breaks on the table, still managing to do good damage. An excellent little proc here. He can cycle into skill 2 and hope for a high roll.
Yeah, it's really been low rolling. So, you know, Legolas has not been performing. Yeah, 2 hits once again. I think it's 3 attacks every time 2 hits right now in this game. But still with that speed buff, I think it's going to be lapping to that slow on that Rakuni. Yeah, Legolas is moving next, so I think this Megumi is going to fall here.
It's fighting the dust, dude. Look at that. Oh,
no, it's not.
The low roll
Another 2
again.
hits. What?
The low roll again, dude. I mean,
that's insane. I mean, we've gone 4 attacks now. Every single attack, 4 attacks. Every single attack has been 2 hits. That is just so unfortunate.
This is a statistical anomaly. So for I don't know, for anybody in chat who hasn't seen the Legolas skills, you should go read skill 1. Just go read skill 1. It has a chance to attack up to 5 times. So the fact that he's low rolling is really bad.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Rakuni does get an unfortunate violent proc here too. Did self boost, but that's violent proc anyway, so the self boost was kind of wasted. And now Megumi is looking to control this Legolas here, but Annabelle does have cleanse. So, and the violent proc. Yeah, this Legolas is definitely going to be finishing off this Megumi now.
If you're Koizu, you're thrilled. If you're Terixon, you're scared right now. Terixon's got to work on this. He's got to find that path, that window of opportunity to get him in right now, because Koizu's proving he's really good at juggling all these threats.
Yeah, he could have gotten a Megumi proc there to still keep him alive, but does not get that. Okay,
2 again.
2 hits again, and it's not going down. He stole the shield, which was actually enough to the low rolling Legolas. I mean, this is incredible stuff from this Legolas. 5 hits, 2 hits every time.
Incredible is a good word for it. It's not necessarily good incredible. It's outrageous. It is an anomaly. Do you use it? That's the question Terixon is wrestling with, and he ultimately chooses to hold it, which I do think is the right call because there's so many shields out.
Yeah, there's so many shields out, but this just kind of shows that if you're not utilizing Velasquez's skill 2 when it's available and fully stacked, Velasquez is probably a bad pick in the matchup. So this Velasquez is definitely too early in this matchup here. It does get that full attack bar now from that Megumi going down, but his 2-turn provoke by this Josephine.
He didn't go for the... I guess he wanted to reduce the Raccoon perhaps there. I was like, there's a big opportunity to take a lot of bar and cycle a whole turn off that Velasquez if you high roll. But traditionally, this Legolas actually has not high rolled a single time.
Yeah, well, clearly he doesn't need it, because I think, okay, it probably doesn't need more than 2 hits to take out this Raccoon. But, okay, there it is. There's the 4 hits. It does take it out. Velasquez is here, though, with the Violent Proc. This could be the highlight reel. I don't think it's going to be able to take out anything, though, and Annabelle is right there with the heal.
Showing why Annabelle was such a good pick, by the way, because it just renders Velasquez's second skill obsolete after that. So now it's just a game of controlling the Stark and the Velasquez. This is legit kind of like juggling 2 bombs, but like, you know, we'll see. I think Koizu's got this in the bag, Topa.
Yeah, I think it's a game of just being game over at this point, because there's no way the Turkson is coming back. He already dished out that skill 2 from the Velasquez. Well, I mean, it's not going to be taking a turn. Velasquez are typically quite slow. And yeah, Legolas just cleans up, and Koizu will be getting that ticket to America's Cup.
Yeah, our second qualified today from day 1 of the prelims. It's Koizu coming in clutch here in a 3-1 victory against Turkson. Well done. I liked what Turkson was bringing, but the only thing is that he couldn't quite find that window to make it optimal against all that shields that Josephine brought.
Yeah, I mean, the Velasquez pick was just way too early, right? Like, I mean, you're picking a Velasquez. I don't really even know why you're picking a Velasquez, to be completely honest. It's not like you're really... Maybe your picking kind of has some synergy with the start, right? As the lights get lower, you know, you get more damage, and then, you know, you can kind of start cleaving things later on in the match. But, yeah, ultimately, Koizu had 2 last picks, the Gandalf and the Annabelle, that were just so good in that Velasquez, and she got very little value throughout the entire match.
Yeah, the power of Annabelle was on full display, dude. Like, being able to come back from just a monstrous turn from Velasquez, what otherwise would have been game-changing and devastating, was made, you know, totally minimal. And it was really well done by him. Here's that game where we let both the horses out of the stable. Really well played here by Koizu.
Yeah, definitely. This game, too, looked kind of decent for Turkson, but unfortunately did miss that attack bar on that Shizuka, so it got out of the bag way too fast, and therefore was able to just turn the match on its head by getting that skill 3 off. I was taking all of those debuffs or putting them on the opposing side, as well as getting all of the, you know, buffs on your side.
Cleaning up the kills, doing it real nicely here. Turkson, credit where it's due. He did make it work. He made it happen when he had to. I think this is the moment where we got to see the proc from the Viva Chell into that devastating swap, and then the patience that followed it. He knew he didn't have to take down that Josephine right away. It was really well done.
Yeah, this was very well played by Turkson. Obviously, you know, some string of luck going on there, and ultimately, yeah, the Legolas just fell a bit short. You know, Koizu's Legolas not really performing. Like, really thought it was going to be confirming kills, but it just was not able to do so. Just low rolling every time. Ultimately, I guess it did not matter in that game 4. However, in this game 3, that Legolas had gotten a bit better attacks on that skill 1. It definitely would have given Koizu the clean 3-0 victory.
Yeah, dude, the 2s, I saw it popping off in chat. Everybody was like, 2, 2, 2, 2. It's like the super low roll Legolas was hilarious.
Yeah, look at this. It's just, this is unbelievable. The highlight reel. It's just 2 hits every time.
Dude.
Now, yeah, 2 hits, 2 hits. Okay, finally gets, you know, 4 or maybe even 5 hits on that Raccoon right there. And, you know, that kind of got him going right here. And the Legolas showcase, even with 2 hits in rolling, it was enough for Koizu to get his ticket to the America's Cup in Toronto on October 10th.
I just want to give a shout out to the highlight guy real quick. For the folks assembling the highlight in the back, you're killing it today. I'm loving the montages of these moments, dude. And just like that, we have our 2 qualified from day 1. I would almost call this a bracket breaker, if we're being honest. Jiwoo Fan and Koizu coming up here being our 2 qualified for the America's Cup proper on October 10th.
Yeah, I mean, both of them played extremely well today. They showed up today, new players to SWC, new players to the scene, but they really, you know, they didn't crack under the pressure. We saw some of the other players maybe be a bit uncomfortable, but they looked very comfortable and very convincing victors, and both players only dropping 1 game.
Wow. That's incredible performance from these new players. Again, debut at the SWC scene right now. Like, this is a tournament first for both of them. And what a showing, dude, to get our 2 qualified spots here. So well done. The chat is going absolutely insane over these victories right now, and it's well deserved too. Man, I loved those games, Topa.
Yeah, those were some really good games, fun stuff we had there. The Legolas, I mean, I love watching that unit, even when you low roll, I mean, obviously it feels pretty bad, but when you high roll, oh man, it feels so good.
Yeah, dang Skippy, dude. And folks, I'm so happy to say that this is not the only day of the prelims that we have. We got day 2 coming at you tomorrow, same time, same place. That's 2 p.m. Pacific time. Be here or be square. And then we have day 3 the following week. And we have such crazy names coming in here as Thompson. We've got Zazos, Vinny, who made a great name for himself in SWC 2025. And stepping down from the caster desk, it's Monagua in match 4. It's going to be a baller day 2. You don't want to miss it. So make sure to come back tomorrow as well to see who our next 2 qualified for the America's Cup will be.
Yeah, there's some super exciting matches there tomorrow, so I'm definitely looking forward to those. And Monagua against the Panda like there in that Brazilian showdown in the bracket too. But obviously we're not going to leave you guys empty-handed, so we do have one more coupon code for you guys today.
Yeah, dude, get those mystical scrolls, and more importantly, those SWC emblems, guys. Collect these coupon codes wherever you can. Good luck, have fun. 2026 Americas. That's GLHF 2026 Americas, and you can redeem that via the events page by going into Game Guide and scrolling all the way down. If you're on Android, if you're on iOS, you can redeem it just by interacting with the link in chat that our lovely mods have posted. So, Topa, I've had so much fun casting with you today, brother. That was so much fun.
Oh yeah, this is a blast. I can't wait for tomorrow. Can we, fast forward like 21 hours, I believe we will be starting in. So, 21 hours, set your alarms. We will be back here for day 2 of SWC 2026 America's Preliminaries.
Until then, everybody, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Bye, everyone.